All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings, our Monday show. We are talking about some movies today. We are going to talk about what are we talking about? Shazam and Luther. So I'm your host, Tank Kramer, with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly. What's up, guys?
How's it going, everybody?
Give me 1 second. My earbuds, as usual, are giving me a hard time.
That's all good.
That's all right.
So we're going to hang out for a little bit anyway. Yeah, so we'll get into those two reviews. Everyone's talking about Shazam.
I know, man. You know what? It's getting
talking.
a lot of hate, a whole lot of hate. I don't know.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of hate, and then it's a whole thing, man. With it,
I was going to tell you, DC. This is what my problem with DC is. They don't go to support crap, and then if you're the president and you tell them this ain't going to matter, why would you?
Yeah, I mean, there's that argument, you know, that also, like, what upsets me is I mean, we're not getting into the review yet. We're just kind of, I guess, talking about it, and we'll get into some other stuff too. But where all these Snyder fans at? Where's this at? Y'all want restore the Snyderverse? Then support the Snyderverse when it comes out. You didn't support Black Adam because that was kind of technically part of the Snyderverse, right? Because it had Henry Cavill. You didn't support this when this was like part of the kind of outside part of it, but it was still kind of.
It's a 6 degrees of separation to.
It's not anymore. This one got. I mean,
this is not really the Snyderverse because it had
Wonder Woman in it.
So
maybe
Wonder Woman in it. Okay.
Maybe this wasn't edgy enough for them.
Yeah, right. It wasn't dark enough.
Yeah,
Shazam wasn't snapping necks every 5 minutes.
Yeah, snapping necks.
First movie, guy. This is nothing to do with Snyderverse, and I'm not.
I would say it does.
Me too.
I think you guys.
It's a Snyderverse era. It's a DCU. Anything DC EU is Snyderverse to me. Yeah.
Only if Snyder's doing it.
What?
He wasn't president. He wasn't running DC. He just
but he kind of was. He was making all the decisions.
They weren't.
He was making all the decisions, and then they kind of.
Warner Brothers was making all the decisions. They're like, and this is what I'm saying about Warner Brothers. Look, I'll believe it when I see it. That's all I'm saying. I'll believe it when I see it. And this is not a bad movie. It's not.
It's a good movie.
It's definitely not a bad movie.
Nobody knows because no one want to go see it. But no, we can talk about it all you want. But it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I don't know. For me, as I was like, you're not supporting the stuff that would be considered Snyderverse, and I believe Shazam was considered Snyderverse.
How?
Oh, definitely.
It's the least. It's the least Snyderverse movie.
Why it came out? Same thing as Wonder Woman, but the Wonder Woman is a Snyderverse movie.
Yeah, tonally it may be different, but it still definitely takes place in that same universe.
It takes place in a universe. I mean, but he's not running it.
But that's what it was called. It was called the Snyderverse. It wasn't called the DCEU. Like, people who like the Snyderverse.
Not going to do anything supporting the Snyderverse. It really isn't. Now, supporting the stuff he's going to do in Netflix, maybe that's more. I understand that, but supporting this movie is not supporting the Snyderverse. So, as much as I'm not for the Snyderverse or anything like that, or Zack Snyder fans, I don't think supporting this movie makes your point at all.
I think it does.
I think DC needs to have their own thing. I mean, they're probably saying, once again, I said DC has two factions, right? And right now you're not doing anything for either.
Yeah.
And you didn't market this damn movie at all. Like, their marketing budget was like $5 at a piece of lint. And like that's what you got.
Was Wonder Woman at the very end, like a week before the movie came out. Like, here's Wonder Woman.
They're like, here's a Funko
Pop.
Here's a
literally in a TV spot. I saw the commercial.
Yeah, me too.
A day before the movie. I was so pissed.
They released one commercial one day before the movie.
No, it was like a week or so. I think it was like almost 2 weeks. It was like a week, at least a week.
Is that marketing though?
Yeah.
If they did,
no, it's not.
If they released that for my restaurant, I will be having an uproar. It's like, this is what you did? Really, you call that marketing? But they did that for an entire movie.
Yeah.
Then it's it bombed. Like, did it really bomb, or did you bomb it for yourself?
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, they bombed it for themselves. They toiled around and kept moving the release date over and over again. Probably killed a lot of interest in it. And then they probably knew what was coming. So, damage control. Why Wonder Woman's in it? Come see our movie.
Yeah.
Not even that. Then if you knew that it's not going to continue, why are you going ahead and doing why are you releasing the 2 end credits? I mean, it's just so many questions.
I'll only say for 1.
Remember, this movie was filmed like 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But you didn't have to release the end credits. You could have just said, "All right, end of the movie, see ya," and then they're gonna have a mid credit and an end credit. Like, why? Why would you do that?
The movie has been in the can for a while. What's the saying? In for a penny, in for a pound. At that point,
isn't you acting like you can't change anything? You can't just say, "Okay, that's the end of the movie." Done.
Why would they?
Why would you release things and say, "Hey, look at what we're going to do"? Oh, wait a minute, we're not going to do it. What was the point?
Have you seen some of DC's decisions or Warner Brothers decisions when it comes to DC?
And thank you for making that point again, Brandon. Why are you guys trusting Warner Brothers? This is my point. Like, it's just what you're like. Well, it's different. It's not different. It's not. I don't trust the guy. I don't trust him. And I don't know if you guys really understand. Like, I prefer DC. Their characters, I prefer them. I don't trust the guys that run it. I don't care who it is, under what banner they put it up there, under new management that put on the sign. And you guys say, "Hey, look, it's under new management." I'm like, look, it doesn't matter. It's the same people still doing it, and I don't trust them until they show me I should.
So the post credit, I don't know what the second post credit was. I didn't stay for it. I stayed for the first post credit. It got leaked. It got leaked like pretty early on.
I thought it was hilarious, by the way.
I thought it was super funny too. We won't get into it, but there's a certain person that comes up that's attached to James Gunn. And a lot of people are upset about that. Like, oh, see, this is why we're not going to go support it, because it's a James Gunn thing, because blah, blah, blah's in it. So.
No one knew that. They decided to not support it before they didn't support it. Like, no one sold tickets to it. I don't know about your movie theater. My movie theater was empty.
I had people in mine. I mean, I saw some pictures.
There's 20 of us. There's 20 of us in the movie theater. In the Dolby movie theater, there's 20 of us.
Yeah.
And almost all of us were in the same row. We're looking around like, what is going on?
People. I probably had a little bit more than 20. Because there was like a family of 4. Yeah, I'll say 20 to 30, somewhere around there.
It was like I had a family of 4. The people next to us had a family of 4, and then there was like 2 couples above us. There's like one guy below us. That was it. It was crazy. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, I mean, it didn't do well.
What are you gonna see? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah.
No.
There's a pretty good amount of people in my theater. I had a pretty decent amount of people in my theater. AMC over on State Street, which now that I have my AMC stubs, I'm definitely taking advantage of that. I got my John Wick tickets. So,
heck yeah, man! It's really worth it.
We're going to talk about Thursday show because I have my tickets are for Thursday.
Yeah, that
John Wick. Yeah,
that theater's going to be dangerous. All the good food that I see on the menu there, so I can't unless I can't.
I'll get AMC stepped up their food. Granted, it's not like gourmet or anything, but when we went, we were kind of hungry. We went like Saturday morning, and we wound up getting chicken tenders, which were pretty damn good. Pretty damn good chicken tenders.
Yeah, I've had the chicken tenders from there in the past.
Try the pretzel bites with cinnamon on them.
I saw that. Cinnamon? I saw it, but it was too late. It looked good.
Oh, good.
And then we got the pretzel. Was it the Bavarian pretzel, which is a huge. I mean, it's like as big as it's so fucking big.
It's a pizza. It's literally a pizza.
It's big.
Oh man,
Brandon like this. You ever see the guy the videos with the guy that's walking around like this in the gym, and you sitting eating the food, he's gonna come knock it out your hand and all that stuff. Let's go. That's how I feel like if I eat that. Like he's gonna come in and he's gonna knock it out, and then I gotta punch him in the face because I'm bigger than you.
Oh no, me, I'd be holding myself back. I'd be holding myself back. I'm be like, man,
get out of here.
You walk up to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to get in shape for summer.
Oh man. See, your shape and my shape are two different things. I'm like, look, I'm 6'5". If I'm under 270, I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm like, you can see the six pack where it is. It's not like defined. You can see where it is. I'm winning.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I don't need.
It's there. It's there.
It's not defined, but you can see where it's supposed to be there. Like it's not fat there. It's just not. Hey, I'm winning. I'm walking around with no shirt on. I'm good. I'm good. I got enough muscle to
there you
go. To massage it out. It's all right. It works. That's the dad bod, but I'm okay. It works because I'm big enough that it works out. What's the funniest thing? I was talking to my wife earlier. I was looking at Michael B. Jordan. He looks really big, right? Do you know he weighs 109 pounds?
No, he's a small guy.
I could believe it. I could believe it. Weirdly enough,
he's like 5'10", too, ain't he?
He's 5'11", 159 pounds.
Yeah.
You know when I was 5'11", 159 pounds? Because I don't. I was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah. There we go, Brandon. Finally, so Brandon Davis said, I finished Last of Us.
You did it. What's
nice.
up? You did it, Brandon.
There you go.
Nice. How'd you like the ending?
I want to know what you think about the ending, and then I want to know what you see, but the first 5 minutes of the next episode, next season. That's gonna be funny. That conversation.
Wow. Well, they Neil Druckmann released a poster. He goes, season 2 is on its way. Yeah. No, that's not Ellie's arm.
Oh, that's not. That's not.
That's not Ellie's arm.
I know. Yeah.
I'll tell you. Somebody else uses a hammer.
Yeah. I know who's that.
Yeah. So that was a nice little thing if you know what that is. Watched a great film called Brigsby Bear.
Okay, I'll check that out tonight. Let's see.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Hey, so are we gonna watch this official trailer of Beef?
Yeah. So we got Beef. I guess we could do the Little Mermaid now that Brandon's here because me and Brian recorded it. I didn't get a chance to edit it, so we could do the Little Mermaid with Brandon.
Sure.
And with Beef, and then I did want to get into one topic before.
A must see.
HBO soon.
Okay.
A must see. Okay. I'll check that out. So the news came out today that Marvel. It didn't say if she got fired or if she quit, but Victoria Alonso exited.
I was so wondering if you want to talk about this because this is.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. She's not just like a whatever, you know what I mean? Like she's a pretty big shot. So I had to look into her a little bit because all I knew from her was the controversy that she said about things. But I guess she used to be in charge of the VFX team, and then she became like a producer, like a big shot kind of producer in the MCU. Yeah. And there's a lot of people happy she's gone for a lot of different reasons. It could be for her stuff about the X-Men shouldn't be called men anymore thing. So you have those people mad.
That was what 2018, 2019 thing. That's stupid thing. She was like, X-Women. Like Storm's been the X-Men from the beginning.
People or whatever.
Storm's the X-Men. That's what she is. Like that's what Jean Grey's X-Men. Shut up.
Yeah. So she's kind of known for that. And then also, it's coming out more now recently that she was probably the reason for a lot of the toxicity in the VFX department and the MCU. So those are kind of the things she's known for, and then being a producer. But like, she wasn't as known as a producer, like someone like Nate Moore, example,
because
but,
I was watching Chill earlier, and sorry I couldn't do it jump on because I really wanted to jump on because I was really interested in the topic, but I was busy being dad. But
I wanted to jump on too, but same.
So man, I got 2 girls. I got to be dad. But they were talking about like you still are really in charge of VFX. So you're still really embedded with that. So like you don't get to let go of that string. You're added on roles. So like they basically give you extra money. So that's what being the producer and those things work. But the fact that we've had so much toxicity with the VFX, and then now she's going and it seems like it's a whole relief because she pushed a lot of things in Marvel. So I mean, it's interesting to see how it changes things, or does it, or does she leave enough of a mark that they think about the things that just don't want to be in a toxic environment, or did she push Feige a little bit too much, and he was like, "All right, this is your last chance, bro," just kicked it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she was actually obviously like I said, a big deal, but I think Feige is listening to the people to an extent. Movies aren't being liked, I guess, as much as they once were. So you kind of need to figure out, what are we doing? What are the fans saying about certain people that are behind the scenes that are saying things? You know what I mean? So then that starts becoming a problem, because that's the same issue with Star Wars. It's not what the actors are doing and saying, because they're just acting and being told what to do. Now it's the people behind the camera, and now they're starting to get more like airtime. Not want to say screen time, but airtime on social media, stuff like that. So like Nate Moore, he's came out and said a lot of messed up stuff that like, hey, I don't want to look for a comic book fan. I want to look for somebody I can control. Which I mean, that he didn't say that, but he kind of said that. He said that.
What it was, though, and I'm not a huge Nate Moore fan, or not, or either. I mean, I'm not on either side. I just kind of listen and kind of weigh, when I think about it. And more with Nate Moore, I feel like he was saying, money wise, I got you. You're going to watch the movie regardless. And when he said he looked at me. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "You're going to watch the movie regardless." And I was like, "Damn, he knows me." So, but I don't care about you. I care about the people that are behind you that are going to. I have to grab them. The normies, the people that don't really care. I have to pull them, and that's what we're doing it for. And business wise, I respect that. Business wise, I understand where you're coming from, and I respect that. But as a comic book fan, the person who actually cares about these characters, like, I don't know if you know, I got stuff from the beginning. I got number 1, I got number 3, I got I care about these characters for a long time, and so I care about where they go, So I care about what crap you putting out, and he's more doing it for the people that are just is it interesting? Does it fit the storyline? Does it fit the climate of today? And sometimes it annoys the hell out of me.
I mean, a lot of times it sucks. I would say I was watching. I forgot. It was a smaller creator. He had a panel on, and they were talking about stuff, and it kind of snowballed as they usually do. Yeah. And somebody in the panel said something that was super brilliant. It blew my mind because it was 100% true. And it was basically like, yeah, you're doing it for the normies, but you have to go through the comic book fans. Now you're getting rid of the comic book fans. Guess who was hyping up Thanos? The comic book fans to the normies. Guess who was hyping up all the other shit? Was the comic book fans. And because the comic book fans will go with their mom or go with their girlfriend, they're like, "Oh, did you see that?" And they're like, "No." And then that fan would hype up other people and bring them in. Now you're going so far deep into crazy cosmic stuff, and you're doing it more for the normies without the comic book fans. You're losing that free press, basically. Like, you need to make the comic book fans happy to make the normies happy. Because if you skip the comic book fans and go more into comic book craziness, the normies don't care. And that's exactly what's happening. You're going into the quantum realm, all the crazy shit.
If you lose your fan base, your base, then you might lose everybody.
You lose everything.
That's what you're saying. So you lose your fan base, lose your target audience, you lose everything.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I know. It sounds like so crazy. So that's why, like, something like Namor is like I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it for the normies, but the normies only like it because we hype it up. Because you're a big person on screen that goes on red carpets and shit. Like, I'm my mother's son. Me saying like, oh, I'm so hyped for Thanos and this and that, like, got my mom hyped. You know what I mean? Like my girlfriend's boyfriend, or my girlfriend's boyfriend, Jesus, my sister's boyfriend.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? I better not.
Once again.
But yeah, no, like my sister's boyfriend got her hyped, and it's just like those are the people that get the normies excited, and now you're getting rid of them. You know, because you want to deal with it. But at the same time, you're going deeper down the rabbit hole. So you need somebody to come down that rabbit hole with you, and you're leaving them behind.
The problem, the further you go down the rabbit hole, you know, other people are not going to understand. Like if we really do the intergalactic kingdom of Wakanda, people are going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Just, you got the comic book fans. Yeah, you got the brother, you got the son, you got the uncle that's a nerd, and they hype it up. You know what I mean? You know, they're like,
need someone that's going to go down with you, because honestly, everyone talks like I was listening to Chill. He was talking about we need to get to use Blue Marvel, right? But everything I got with Blue Marvel is really still depending on T'Challa. I think, and that's where a lot of the problems are coming with these last phases. Not having T'Challa is really screwing stuff up. Because they had a plan.
That was a bad idea.
But they had a plan, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to go towards this." And now that we don't have T'Challa, none of those plans works, because he was going to be that Captain America, that Iron Man, that guy
centerpiece,
that centerpiece to everything. So that you could use Doctor Strange versus T'Challa, because you could really highlight how smart T'Challa is. He's so brilliant that he is like Tony Stark. So you could have different MCU characters pop up. Spider-Man, all this stuff, and have him be the leader and be, this is the basis. And not having that has ruined a lot of storylines. I really believe that they didn't anticipate how much that was how deep that was going to cut.
Yeah. They're gonna.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he was going to be the Captain America and Iron Man rolled into one.
He's the linchpin.
Rolled into one.
What I was gonna say. Yeah.
He's literally the linchpin to all these stories that they're going to, because they all push us towards these stories, and the linchpin to anything going on further is T'Challa. We're talking about Secret Wars. We're talking about Battle World. We're talking about all without the Fantastic Four, you have no chance without T'Challa, and I think that's what they're finding out. And they're going back on the world. They're going to have to bring T'Challa back in to get to where they want to get to. That's the only way.
If they forge forward with Shuri, I don't think that's gonna work the same. Or even if they forge forward with Spider-Man, I know I've said multiple times how I feel about that.
He's going to be part of it, but the problem is he's not an Avenger still. Like I know. Him being the leader of the Avenger, he's still a kid. And you're going to look at Tom Holland always as a kid. You're never going to see him as that wisdom, that guy who's a leader, who can take you forward. He's going to have thoughtfulness. They haven't even discussed Spider-Man being a genius. Like, it's just, there's so many things that they haven't done. And without that basis, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how that's going to work. Yeah.
Well, to loop it back around to like the producer. So like, is Nate Moore next? Is Nate Moore like next? You know what I mean? Like, she had a lot of stuff that a lot of people disagreed with, like on a fundamental level. Is like, these are the X-Men. You do not change the name of the X-Men. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that's like super not inclusive, because it says men. I was like, so women, like I don't know. It's like her saying like there's women in X-Men. I was like, well, yeah. Like
being inclusive. Being inclusive shouldn't be for everything, just to placate a certain demographic. they were always titled the X-Men, you know, leave it, you know, what you're gonna, are you that frightened of ticking off those people because they don't feel included? The whole thing with X-Men is it's about inclusion if you look beyond the name. So,
and
you know, you're
of X-Men is like all men are created equal. Like I say, this because it says all men are created equal, does that not mean all people are created equal? Should we have to, or should you be smart enough to know that that's what that means? I mean, the word men is within women. Like you understand that we've had all these movements to get to this point where we should know this.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to nitpick at something, instead of realizing we already made it past this, and you know everyone should know this already. It's like you're missing you're looking at the trees and not seeing the forest. And I feel like that's the problem.
Yeah. Polar nights. That's also, as a barber, I love this podcast. It's the perfect evolution of beard growth. You got a little bit and a little bit more, and then full on. That's funny. It's just Alfredo, one of the other guys that comes on every so often. He had a pretty nice one. And then he cut it. I was like, what you doing, man? Dude, it was nicely shaped.
Beautiful. Like he literally only thing he was missing was like a little gray streak in his hair. Like he was looking distinguished. I don't know what he did.
It was a nice shape. It was lined up, and then just cut it short again. I was like, what you doing, man?
Like, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
I was so mad.
Yeah, I was. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. Like, is this Kevin Feige throwing down the hammer? You know, it's like, all right, enough is enough. Like, you don't need to make the X-Men, you know, you can't complain about the X-Men being not inclusive when, like Brandon said, they're the X-Men. That's the whole point of them being created, was like, oh, hey, there's all these injustices in the world, but you know, we can't get into the actual thing, so let's make up our own thing that mimics the real world. You know, like that's the whole point of X-Men. You know what I mean? Like political injustices, like, you know, so
you know, if that was one of the things that she was complaining about or trying to change, maybe maybe her exile is for the best.
But I don't think this is why.
A lot of people are saying. I don't think so. I don't think
this is why.
That's the ultimate.
This happened 3 years ago. She started talking about this stuff. Like she's been saying this for. I think she was a habitual line stepper. Habitually, she overstepped the line, and then eventually he said, "Look, Phase 4 sucked, or you know, we made missteps, and I need you guys to follow me." And she's probably wants someone who's pushing. And he finally said, "This is what we're going to do." And you know, when someone's pushing that long, has been doing it for years, they feel like they can say whatever they want to say. And sometimes, as a boss, you gotta say, "You got one last chance." And she probably says something. And he's like, "All right, you out of here. This is it. I can't do it."
Yeah. That's why I wonder if Nate Moore is next.
But we don't know if Nate Moore has been habitually line stepping.
I don't know.
He said one thing or two. He said two things that have been pretty stupid. But that's it though. You haven't heard him all the time. You haven't hear that an entire department hates him. Like you,
exactly.
You hear that people love him. So you know, I don't think that you're going to have that problem with Nate Moore. I think what they're going to do is have to get some new blood in there. You know, and but I think that it's going to work out fine, personally.
Yeah. But also, like, that's what a lot of people are saying is like, she said it years ago, so why would it come now? Is like, also, who was in charge of Disney? You know, who was Kevin Feige's boss 3 years ago? Was Chapek. Chapek took a lot of power away from a lot of studio heads. That's one reason why, like, all the studio heads, including Kevin Feige, got together and went to the board and was like, hey, this guy is effing everything up. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the whole thing out now, whereas is Kevin Feige didn't want all these projects to be coming out. That was Chapek. Chapek was like, hey, we you need to pump this shit out right now. And you know, and it tells that wasn't Kevin Feige, I think, having his hand on everything. You know, he had to like being told what to do. And you know, now Iger came back in and got rid of that stupid middle management group that Chapek made. And Iger likes making sure people run their studios, so I wonder, he's like, hey, you remember when you said all this crazy shit and you keep stepping over the line, like, we're done. I could definitely see that. And the VXX problem too.
I think that they just realized they had to do that because they had so many issues now, and to make people happy, they had to get rid of her. That's just kind of where it came down to. But I mean, it's funny you saying that, because they're talking about they pushing back Secret Wars. Further, it's coming out in July. Definitely coming out.
There's
2023, and now they're saying sometime in 2023. Like they're pushing back projects on Disney Plus. I don't think that's coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing this on purpose. I think this is part of the whole plan, and I think people that aren't getting with the new program are getting released. I don't think Nate Moore is that person, because I think Nate Moore knows where to rock.
He's liked.
Yeah,
he's liked.
He's liked.
When people like you, it's hard to get rid of you.
Exactly,
because people like you. Like you said, the whole department did not like her.
People like ready to revolt. If everyone's revolting, then maybe we need to get rid of you.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, I think it's fine.
So one last thing before we move on to some other stuff. Do we see better graphics in these Marvel movies now?
I sure hope so.
I hope so. I suppose we're gonna find out if she was single-handedly responsible for this toxic work environment and the drop in quality. I think if that's really the case, I think it's only a matter of time before that question answers itself.
Yeah. So the next bunch of movies,
because it's been a common it's been an on and off thing that you've heard. Heck, even with the constant release shifts of the Marvels, a lot of they're saying that the release date shifts in that have been to touch up the visuals, and the CGI.
People said that the story is not as good as they thought. I mean, and that's something also I think about. Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel so good, made so much money because it was right before Endgame. Was that the real reason? We're going to figure that out too. Did people really
Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel?
I mean, Captain Marvel. I said Miss Marvel, but Captain Marvel, is that the reason why it did so well in the box office?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It was it was a month and a half before
so right
Endgame.
But it's like wet your whistle. Here we go.
Yeah.
But we did get that stinger at the end of Endgame, or not Endgame, at the end of Infinity War that hinted at Captain Marvel. So people wanted to be introduced to this character and see how instrumental she was going to be.
But what does that mean for going forward then? What does that mean for this movie going forward? I wonder if they start a story and realize without this epic collision out there, the story wasn't like this great story.
Yeah.
And people might turn their nose up at it and say that you need more. Because that's what I think the story, they're still doing reshoots. How are you still doing reshoots?
Yeah. Well, Marvel, man, they do reshoots like a month ahead, a month before a release. Like reshoot.
Ant-Man was getting done in January. It was released in February.
Yeah. But I wonder if the graphics would be good in that one, because I don't think it's in post edit yet, right? Or post production. I don't think so yet.
They're still doing
might be.
Like everyone thought it was done.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. The Marvels.
With the Marvel. Well, yeah, because they've been finished filming it for quite some time.
Have they? Okay.
Yet. But they're still refilming certain scenes. So I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then the big rumor is what's her name? The two leads, the girl who plays Monica and the girl that plays Carol Danvers. They don't like each other. I guess there's been a lot of bickering.
I thought that one was already debunked.
Was it? It might have been. I've seen them.
Incels probably just made that shit up because they don't like Brie Larson because she made some harmless comments about inclusion. So they'll find any and every excuse they can just to take petty little pot shots at her. Yeah. It's quite pathetic, actually.
I don't know. We'll see. Because if it doesn't make any money, maybe it wasn't just that.
Yeah. Well, you can tell chemistry on film, man. Like you'll see if they don't like each other, you can definitely get a feeling when they're in scenes together. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I am kind of excited about it, but I'm also not excited where I'm like, oh, I can't wait. More, I'm like, oh, I like what movie is gonna be the final straw? You know what I mean? And is the Marvels going to be it? You know, I mean, not the final straw where it's the end of the studio, but it's where the final straw of when they start making major changes. Like you need to shake things up.
They're going to say that we're going to need a better leader. We're going to have to find, and I hope that gets to Captain America. I hope that we get to Captain America and give him a chance and see what he could do. But I don't know if we're going to get there. I really don't.
They just really have to bring their A game with this movie. I'm curious to see how that one pans out. It just seems really overstuffed, and I feel like Harrison Ford is just going to sleepwalk through the role of General Ross.
Red Hulk.
Yeah, like that's a head scratcher for me going from William Hurt to Harrison Ford in that role, especially considering Harrison Ford is like significantly older than William Hurt was when he passed away.
You know, I don't worry about those things. I don't worry about B characters being replaced. I don't. And what about when it's a C character? See, I think DC's problem when we get back to Shazam, when you get to they star movies starring B characters, which is a problem in itself. Is you know, but when we're talking about C characters that are not going to be anything in the movie, you know, you could probably say Harrison Ford pretty much didn't wake up for this role, but the movie still did okay because he's not the central part of the movie.
Yeah.
We could all say agree with you, like 100% agree with Brandon, and still say, but the movie could have been good still.
Yeah, I heard he's gonna play a big role, but I also heard he's gonna be Red Hulk for a good chunk of it too.
Yeah,
CGI is gonna be a big.
Yep, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting going to that. But yeah, just figured we'll talk about that because that is kind of big news in the comic movie world right now. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. See what happens with that. But you guys ready to watch a few trailers and we'll get into some movies?
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm probably gonna call it an early night.
Yeah, that's
okay. We'll do this trailer because we got a Little Mermaid lot, already recorded. Grand Brand is not in it, but if you want, we could do this trailer. We can do Shazam,
and then you cut them out.
And then if you want to head out, or if you want to do one more trailer or something like that.
I mean, all I know is Luther Fallen Sun was the best thing I saw this weekend.
It's probably one of the best things I've seen all year.
Yeah, I told you guys, man, Luther is
that was. Did you watch it, Brandon, or no?
Okay.
No, did you watch Luther?
I did not get around to watching Luther, unfortunately. I started to watch it. I got through like the first couple minutes, and I wasn't able to finish it.
Yeah, no, it's
okay. Finish it. It's good. It's really good at the end.
Really good.
Yeah.
So all of them are like that. But so you can talk about that. So let's do this. Let's do
we'll do this. We'll do Shazam
and then we'll kick Brandon out. Go to bed, and then we'll do the other ones. And you better do well.
I never watched it either. You don't need to watch the show to enjoy the movie. I've never seen any of the episodes. And I
watched all
very
of them,
much.
And it still doesn't matter. It's good either way.
Yeah.
I've been watching Luther for years, man. It's been at least a decade.
All right, let me bring this up. Watch Beef. All right. All right, let's do this. Where we at? All right. All right. So for our first trailer of the night, we are going to talk about Beef coming out on Netflix. So my name is Tim Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly. We are the Spoiler Kings, and we are going to watch this trailer and react to it.
Hey, we should say, by the way, guys, the reason we watch Beef right now is because we had someone that requested in the comments. So we're definitely going to throw
Storm Shadow. Shout out to Storm Shadow.
We'll appreciate it. We'll watch this trailer. We'll comment on it. But I'm going to say, you guys get in the comments. We'll look at the stuff that what you guys are talking about. We're interested in everything. So shout out to Storm Shadow. Thank you. And let's watch this trailer.
Yes. All right.
Amy, are you okay?
Yep.
I've been hustling my whole life.
And look where it's gotten me. Let's make it stop.
What is your problem? What?
A24?
What are you doing? Stop. I have a very full life that I'd love to get back to. I'm gonna find you and take what little you have.
You're just a suburban housewife, and now you're stuck in a life you never wanted.
You have this serene Zen Buddhist thing going on.
Hey?
I'm a dangerous guy. So stop messing with me and leave me alone, or else.
I would love to let this go, but actions have consequences.
I just can't understand what those people are so angry about.
Bitch-ass handyman pissing on my hardwood floor? This is yours.
I found ways to manage my stress.
You're born, make choices, and suddenly you're here.
This is fun!
Maybe we're not normal.
Maybe normal people are just delusional.
You started this.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the one who backed into me like a psycho.
You're the one that flipped me off all roided out and Are you guys leaving, or are you just gonna sit there? What you say? What you say?
Say it again! I dare you to say it again!
April 6th. Wow.
That's super my wife.
That looked awesome. That looked good.
Yeah.
Dude.
Reminds me of with it being like over a road rage incident that grows into something bigger and crazier. It reminded me of that movie Changing Lanes with Sam Jackson and Ben Affleck.
That movie's
like
crazy.
The early 2000s.
Oh my god, that movie's crazy.
Yeah, there's another one like that with Russell Crowe, where Russell Crowe's really, really like gained a lot of weight for that role.
Unhinged.
Unhinged. That's what it was. I was trying to think of what it was, but that one sucked. That was not good. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think about this one, man? Stephen Yeun, I think he is awesome. I really do enjoy a lot of things he's in.
This literally reminds me of my wife. She's in pickup line for my girls, like at school. They pick up the girls, and she gets so mad. She gets so angry on her face when the people don't pull all the way up. And they have to wait there and sit there. I was like, it doesn't even matter. We all going to the same place. They pull up. You're just going to be in that one spot. But I could have been in that spot. I'm so angry. And then like she will like cut them off, and then they will start being upset and everything. It's like that. It's when you're in the monotony of your life, and you're doing the same thing over and over again, and that one little thing just ticks you off and fly over the deep end. So I thought that was so realistic and so like relatable that I think I'm going to really enjoy watching this movie.
Yeah. Oh, you Brandon?
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. A24 is pretty much on top of the world at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of them doing a show is something that's really caught my attention. So we'll see. I love dark comedy. Stephen Yeun is just crushes it in pretty much everything he's in. I don't have enough experience with Ali Wong to say either way about her. The few things I've seen her in, I found her pretty funny in. She looks pretty hilarious in this. So yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah. Ali Wong's pretty funny. She's not like the greatest actress ever, but the things she's in, she's good. She does a lot of voiceovers from the stuff I always seen her in. But she's funny. She's funny. I like her. Stand up is pretty funny too. But them two together is gonna be really, really interesting. I think it's gonna be pretty good. It looks kind of crazy. It looks like it's gonna get a little intense at some parts. So yeah. I don't know. So real quick, I guess it all starts off with that one, with him backing up and she was behind him. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is this? Is it the guy pulling out from the parking spot, or is it the person in the lane already?
Play it one more time.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Let's see. I muted it. All right, so he's in his car. I'm assuming it looks like he's in a parking spot.
Didn't look like he looked backwards.
Yeah, didn't look like he looked backwards. Why she was driving kind of fast. No, well, not that fast. No. I'd say he probably should have looked. Yeah.
The fact that he didn't look tells me it's his fault.
I believe, I could be wrong. Rules of the road says it's her fault because she needs to yield to anybody pulling out of a parking spot.
Yeah, but see, he didn't. It's not like he had the lights on. He went in reverse and then immediately came
and
back.
Then slammed it. Yeah.
So if she doesn't have an opportunity to know.
Yeah.
I agree with the person.
No white lights.
Exactly.
If you just slam it in the reverse. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's going to be the main thing is like, you need to make it where both of them are at fault kind of thing. Because if one is more not at fault than the other, then I think people are going to lean one way. If they both do it bad, then there's no, like, you can't pick a winner. So
I guarantee she's on the phone. I guarantee he's on the phone. So he's backing out. He didn't look, and she's on the phone not paying attention.
Yeah. So Brando said, not the top of my list, but I'll give it a couple episodes. I think it's just a movie. I don't think it's a series. It is a series. Holy shit, it is. So this is a series. Yeah. Upcoming Netflix series. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's going to be pretty interesting then. So you can really get in depth with these characters and their personal lives.
I just understand why they continue being that mad.
I know, man. People just they don't know how to just let things go, man.
After like 2 days, I won't go home like, all right, I'm good. That's too much energy for me to have to go and find you again. Too much. That's crazy.
I know, right? But yeah, it looks good. I'll definitely give it a shot. But I don't know, anything else, guys?
I got a question. Have you guys ever done anything crazy when you really look back and said, there was no reason for me to do this? No reason for me to be this angry?
To be that mad?
I sure have.
Yeah. I think everyone, not road rage though. I never but other stuff like irrationally angry over something silly.
Like I remember in college, one of my roommates didn't want to pay his electricity bill, and it was in my name. And it was like $50, and I tried to get Marvin to help me flip over his car into a ditch, like pick it up. Like I was really angry to try to deadlift that thing. I could pick it up, but I couldn't push it over. So that was for no reason.
Yeah.
Brandon's hilarious.
Brandon said, "Yeah, it's called marriage and having a family."
Kids can make you irrationally angry for no reason. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
It's one of the reasons I don't want any.
Oh, yeah. You're missing out. I can't even say that with straight face.
The lack of sleep.
One of me is enough.
I say that all the time. You know what? They both turn out like my wife. That doesn't matter.
You got three of them.
I got 3 of them in their house. Oh my god, the house will blow up.
Nice. Oh, bless you in teenage years.
Oh my gosh, I'm leaving.
Just the basement's gonna be a bunker at that point.
It's gonna be a lock on the door. I'll be just waiting till they leave so I can sneak out.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But I mean, I guess that's kind of what Ali Wong's character is, right? She's the wife with kids and seems like unhappy marriage. So, yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna for sure check this out. I like it. Let's see what it does. It's on Netflix, so I'll probably get just one season anyway. So
yeah, exactly. It's probably getting canceled right now.
Yeah, right. And it's done. But cool. Let's move on to our next topic. But before we do, we want you to hit that like button. Lets YouTube know that we're doing something good, and it pushes our videos out to more people on YouTube. And hit that subscribe button. It's right there. It's free. You don't have to no charge. And we're on our way to 1,000. So we want to get to that magic number of 1,000 subscribers. That first big milestone for us. So hit that, do that. If you're watching on replay, thank you. Appreciate it. If you're watching live, stick around. We got to talk about something else. Oh, come on. I hit it. I hit it. All right. Let's get right into Shazam.
Let's do Shazam, and then let's kick him out. He better be ready for tomorrow. He better do well. What's up, Toxic Gamer? I see you.
Bring up the cat.
How's it going, man? Toxic Gamer. We're getting ready to talk about Shazam, so that's what we're gonna do right now.
Yeah. Anybody want to read the synopsis? I typed in the Shazam cast, and Grace was like Caroline, or Coraline Curry is the first one. She's first before Zachary Levi.
Are you sad?
No.
You're like,
oh, that's
all right, that's what I want to. How did you know? It's a good, you guys. Yeah.
Pretty good.
We're doing really good. Yeah. It's been a good day. You know, it's gonna be another good week because I already got my John Wick on Thursday, and at 6:30, so I should be back around 9:15. So I might be a little late. And then I got Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday at 2 p.m.
Oh, you got the special showing?
Yep. Nice. And my wife just told me she's not going, so she was like, "You better ask Tank." I was like, "Oh, I guess."
I'm excited for Dungeons and Dragons. The more I hear about it,
yes, the more I hear about it, I do not hear anything bad because I do want to see it. But my girlfriend's like, I don't want to be away from the baby in 2 days straight like that. So, like, yeah, I get it too. I get it. All right, got the synopsis ready?
Yeah, I had all this stuff already up.
All right. Let's knock it out. Oh, he said, just filming. Got done filming my spoiler review too. Nice. Yeah, so you can come in and leave some of your stuff. It does not have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No,
it did before.
Really?
It did at one point.
Yeah. It was like
early on.
Like that. It's 88.
88, yeah. Come on. Yeah, that's still not too bad.
No, it is really good. And, you know, that's what I expect, though. Because the problem is people aren't going to see it.
Oh, the audience is 87.
Yeah.
The critics 53. Damn. But also the critics, I don't think liked the first one either, though.
Yeah, it was pretty good to me. I enjoyed this movie. So
yeah. Oh, 88 on Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, that one had 100%. Yeah, that one had 100%. Now Dungeons and Dragons. I thought you meant Shazam. I was like, wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. I know. I think a bunch of people got to see it at South by Southwest. I think. Yep. I think so, which is kind of cool. All right, let's get this going. All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer, Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we are going to talk about the weekend. Not a blockbuster. But the unblockbuster of Shazam: Fury of the Gods. It's the sequel to just the first Shazam. So So we'll get into our likes, some of our dislikes, and then give our official Spoiler Kings ratings at the end. But before we do, Brian's got a quick rundown of what the movie is about.
All right, let me get my Mr. Movie Guy voice in.
You're going to go for your Don LaFontaine?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don LaFontaine?
With the powers of the gods. Billy Batson and his fellow foster kids are learning how to juggle teenage life with their adult superhero alter egos. When the vengeful trio of ancient gods arrives on Earth in search of magic stolen from them long ago, Shazam and his allies get thrust into battle for their superpowers, their lives, and the fate of the world. Dun-dun-dun. No, sorry.
Yeah.
But no, that's what it really is, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty simple story, nothing too complicated. Which I don't know if it's good or bad. We'll see what you guys think about it. But we'll let Brandman go first. What are some things that you liked about it?
I liked that it maintained the tone of the first movie, very light in tone. I think the director David Sandberg kind of gets the character of Shazam, and you know that it should be lighter in tone than say like some of the other stuff that we've gotten in the DC universe. So I like that. I like the dynamic between the Shazamily, I guess you could call it. I liked the. I liked the. What's it called? I don't take myself nearly that seriously, but I liked Zachary Levi was very much in his element. I thought. I thought that he did a great job. You know, he was basically running the show. It felt like he was very much front and center. I really liked the subplot with Freddy. I think he was probably the best character in the movie, like his character arc, his storyline. I think it was probably the one that I kind of found myself kind of engaged with the most. Some cool stuff with the villains, and I'd say those were pretty much mine.
Yeah, there you go. Toxic Gamer agrees with you. So, what about you, Brian?
Thanks.
There are parts of the movie where I was almost asleep. But there are some parts of the movie where I felt it. I felt like the parts that weren't goofy, that had real feeling in it, were very good. The idea of having imposter syndrome is very cool. Like the idea of when to not want to let go of anything because you're afraid that you're going to lose that family because everyone who you ever loved has left you. You saw it in Last of Us. The idea here makes perfect sense for Billy. You know, it just the idea that he never called her his mom. You know, always called her by her first name. I thought that was those things were just very well done, especially as the details. I love the superhero parts, but I feel like it was very, I don't know how to say. It was almost like I was watching two different movies. It was going two different directions a lot of times, and it didn't match always. But I thought the story was pretty good. I thought the villains were really good, and I saw Rachel Zegler again. I was happy to see her. I mean, but I really felt like it was just two different. It was going two different directions, and it didn't always match up. In the middle of the movie, so, but it was fine. It was fine. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, the hero versions of all the kids I thought were fun. They were definitely entertaining. Adam was it Brody? Was it Freddy? The Super Freddy or whatever. And I thought them two, especially the kid who played Freddy, was it Jack Dylan? Yeah,
Jack Dylan Grazer.
Yeah, and Adam Brody. They
matched.
They were the same person. Exactly. That made so much sense. I was like, oh, okay, you guys like actually talk. It's like you guys are on the same page, which I appreciate that because they play such a big role, like you said. But even like the guy who played Eugene, all of them, I thought they were super fun versions of it. Even was it Megan Good played Darla, the two Darla. I was like, yeah, she was supposed to be very kiddie because she's legit a kid, I mean, like an actual like preteen, so it's like, yeah, so like stuff like that was really well done. Even the funny parts were kind of funny. They did go a little overboard certain times, but not to the level of Thor: Love and Thunder, not to that extent of just like running a joke into the ground. But the jokes were good. I thought the when it was time for seriousness, like to right at the end, and with his mom on the parking garage, super nice scene and stuff like that. So it was like it was funny, and stuff like that. But
so bye, Big Rosa, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. But I like just all the super versions of all of them. Yeah, Captain Every Power Jr. it was really funny. Even so like because they're trying to figure out their name, and I was like, I thought that was kind of funny. Like he didn't know what his super person name was, superhero name was.
Like,
so I thought
you see it every single time you want to change the stuff.
One thing I did appreciate a lot, I think I was probably the only person in my theater that was like kind of gasped in like happiness, was Michael Gray, I believe. Was it Michael Gray or Michael Gary? The guy who he played the original Shazam in the 60s showed up right at the end.
Yeah,
and he called him Captain Marvel.
Where
and I was like, yeah. You got a double.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah, because Shazam was called Captain Marvel originally. He was the original Captain Marvel. So I thought that was cool. So if that was cool. And then it was said by the guy who played Shazam in the 1960s on TV. Even had the same outfit with the red and the gold collar and stuff like that. I was like, that was awesome. I thought that was super cool. I was like, that's definitely a good shout out, but yeah. Did he play Shazam in the original series, or was he Billy Batson? He was Billy. Shazam was somebody else.
He was Billy.
But he was
Billy. That's what I thought. Michael Gray or Gary, whatever his name is.
I think it was Michael. I know it was Michael Gray, I think. So that was super cool, just because he wore exactly what he wore in the 60s on TV. It was like, that's awesome.
The red sweater with the golf club.
Yeah. So and then calling him Captain Marvel was also kind of a nice little
right on. It was right on.
Yeah. But and then the graphic, I gotta give it, the graphics were really good. Really, really good. In this one. Like really surprised, for something like
with a dragon and
the dragon thing,
the way they did it and all this stuff, and the unicorns, were awesome.
The unicorns were sick. They were so sick. So
they
it reminded
really
me of a mobile game. It used to be an Adult Swim mobile game where it was like where you were a unicorn and you basically like shoot things and stuff. I can't remember the name of it, but like you have to upgrade your unicorn, and one of them was like that, where it was like a stallion kind of thing, and then with the metal horn and spikes coming from the side. It was awesome. It was so cool. It was like
the king of all animals.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, you!" She got all excited, and then the wizard was like, "Oh no, it's terrifying. It will kill you." And she's like, "What?"
And the fact that she threw up Skittles, it was the cutest thing I ever seen in my life. Like, it makes you love girls. The little girls are just like the cutest, sweetest little things.
And she was just like fearless. Like she knew 100% that was gonna work. Like I was like, oh, and because no one else around them did.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, but the unicorns were super cool. The beasts were pretty cool. I think most of the money went towards the dragon, though, for sure. Because some of the beasts are like, okay, But I wish they would have went more practical effects with some of those beasts. Like put somebody in a Minotaur outfit. You know what I mean? Like do some cool like practical like effects, costumes and makeup, I think that would have made things be way cooler. Because then you can save the VFX to the dragon.
But that's the thing that sometimes you need that more, and we're going so far away from it.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, we're straying very much far away from it. CG unfortunately is completely overtaken practical effects when it should be like a nice marriage of both.
Because it's easy.
Yeah,
but it would look so much better if it had a dude in the suit sometimes. Just would look
with
so
some
much
good
better.
makeup. Yeah,
it would. It would.
Yeah. So let's get into some.
One more good.
What you got?
Grace Caroline Curry.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that, but I didn't want to come off like a pervert.
In fact, she changes into a superhero. She's still.
She's still the same person.
She's still the same person. I'm like, yeah, you're a superhero. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at he's doing the smile again, guys. He's doing the smile again.
He's doing it. Well, yeah. So she was she was like super cool. And then I think her being like the older sister kind of role, like the oldest sibling and giving good advice, I think it was kind of cool too, just as a character, and then so you're good and you're pretty. So it was like double whammy.
Yep.
But although Marta Millins, the girl who the actress who played Rosa, I was like, okay, where did this come from?
It's so funny. That's so up your alley.
It is.
I agree though.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Brandon's like, yeah. But all right, enough dirty talk. What you got, Brandon? What are some bad things you didn't like? Well, go ahead.
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
I know I've mentioned this in the past, but Warner Brothers really wasted too much time before they decided they wanted to make a sequel. The one thing that I really liked, and I think the one thing that the first movie really nailed was the kind of wish fulfillment aspect. Because, like I said in the past, like the first one was a superhero version of Big, basically, and so I think they really needed to kind of strike while the iron was hot in terms of the kid actors before they aged out of the roles. So that said, Asher Angel in this one, who played Billy Batson, looked like a grown ass man. He almost could have played Shazam himself. Grace Caroline Curry did play her superhero counterpart. Her character Mary's a grown adult in this one, so it really kind of, with the exception of like Freddie, the character of Eugene maybe, and the character of Darla, they really kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. And it really kind of, there were parts that kind of took me out of the movie when it comes to that. Additionally, and it's funny that you mentioned that, when Jack Dylan Grazer becomes Adam Brody, I buy them being the same character, but I think that Asher Angel and Zachary Levi are acting in two different movies.
Exactly.
Because
they had no idea what they were doing. Like,
because Billy Batson, acts like an adult, but when Billy Batson becomes Billy Batson becomes Shazam is acting like a 12-year-old. Zachary Levi's acting like a 12-year-old, and Asher Angel is acting like the 30-year-old he looks like now.
He doesn't look 30.
He looks like a grown adult. He's 20. Or if you look 30. I'm kidding, but not really. But Like the villains were okay, like the Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren characters, but at the same time they were kind of flat. I don't think they did as much for me as Mark Strong did as Doctor Savannah. I thought he was a little bit of a stronger villain than they were. The stuff they did was cool, but that was really it. And I think the other thing that really also kind of really hurt the movie was just the what's it called? Lost my train of thought for a second. Just the way that it was marketed, the delays really kind of took me out of it. There were parts where I was kind of drifting off, at times. I just wasn't as invested in this movie as I was the first. Like I joked about in the past, there were times where I even forgot this movie was coming out.
Marketing. Yeah.
And, it was just kind of, they really shot themselves in the foot with the way they marketed it. Too many delays. They finished shooting this movie in August of 2021, and now it's and then they BS'd around with the release date. So I just had trouble in that regard being invested. And a lot of behind the scenes stuff, that The Rock's refusal to show up in the sequel, even though Black Adam and the Shazam family are very much connected. Just too much behind the scenes stuff just kind of took me out of it inadvertently.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, yeah. So Toxic Gamer said, and this is 100% true. They revealed the whole entire movie in the trailer. Yeah. Once you add up all those trailers, that's more or less the movie. There's some other good parts, but yeah, I mean, yeah, which kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian, what you got for some bad stuff?
Well, my first thing is exactly what I'm gonna start where Brandon finished. It was Zachary Levi and Asher Angel. That was just not. They were not good. They were not on the same page. They were not acting in the same movie. It didn't make any sense at all. Yeah.
Which is insane because
I was trying to do the movie from the first Shazam, and Asher Angel was trying to be an adult, and they just didn't meet up. Like no one said, "Hey guys, we got to put this shit together."
Yeah, and even just kind of going hand in hand with that, that was something that the first movie kind of suffered from. Asher Angel as Billy Batson was acting one way, very much one way, and then Zachary Levi as superhero Billy Batson was acting a completely different way. I never believed that that Asher Angel was turning into Zachary Levi. Whereas with other characters, I was able to buy that, but
in that movie, they always said so. Shazam was him without the trauma. So when he turned into Shazam, it was who he would be as a child without the trauma. So that didn't bother me. But this movie, he was so stupid.
It was so off.
Dumber as Zachary Levi than he was as Asher Angel, and that didn't make any sense to me. I was like, "Why? How are you dumber? Like that doesn't didn't do anything when everyone else was the same. Everybody else was exactly the same. He was dumber, and it's like, why you gotta make him seem so dumb? And not just a bad leader, but just literally have no brain about you."
Yeah, exactly. And if your superhero counterpart is supposed to be the trauma, explain Freddy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Explain the other characters and why they seem exactly the same when they power up.
Well, I think that they're saying is that it wasn't just Billy Batson. It's not just been in a group home. He's also was given up by his mother and his father, and every home he's ever been in. So I kind of understood it, but they should have stayed with that way.
Mm-hmm.
They should have stayed that way, and then Zachary Levi being a little bit nicer, like a little funnier, but understand the trauma, still see the trauma with him and within his character. I just didn't think that they did a good job with that at all. I gotta say, it's the same thing we said about holding it off for 2 years. Rachel Zegler So like she said, she did it right after it was during the pandemic, right? So she took the character because she didn't have any other job offers, and it seemed like she took the character because she didn't have any other job offers. Like that's exactly what it seemed like. Like she was just here just because, hey, I gotta get a paycheck, gotta do it. You know, gotta pay the mortgage, gotta do it. Here
I didn't think she was that bad.
No, I didn't think she was all in it because I didn't think she was bad at all. I think she's a very good actress. I think she's a very good actress, but I didn't think she wasn't like emotionally connected. I was not emotionally connected to her. Like, you know, I felt more connected. I understood where Calypso, Lucy Liu, and Calypso. I understood that. Hespera with Helen Mirren. I understood that. Her was kind of like a throw in at the end because we never had that connection with who she was as, you know, that god Athena. So I thought that was kind of weird. But I gotta say, Helen Mirren, I was worried about her because, you know, she's what 80. I don't know. Yeah. You know, it's like and making her a super villain. How do you see how's she gonna be menacing to me? Like I look at her and I don't see her being very menacing. And then Lucy Liu, don't get me wrong. If I'm Bill Murray, I'm probably afraid of Lucy Liu. But besides Bill Murray, who else is gonna be afraid of Lucy Liu? Like it didn't make sense. They weren't menacing enough for me. You know, and I look at them. They're just very nice. They're very smiley. They're sweetheart characters, and it's hard seeing them.
Lucy Liu was pretty intimidating in Kill Bill, to her credit.
Yeah, I think Lucy Liu was the more intimidating, but also I think she was supposed to be. She was, you know, because she was the chaos one.
Yeah, that's what Calypso is.
Yeah. So, we said the Thor treatment, fellas. Yeah, they treated Shazam like Thor. No, not even close. It's Thor was made a goofy because they're goofy. I would say Shazam has always been goofy, but the problem is not the writing, and it's not it's
the way Zachary Levi did.
It's Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. Like I liked him as Shazam, but then I don't, because I'm like he's a 30-something-year-old man trying to act like a 17-year-old, but also trying to act like a 17-year-old in like today's world. You know, it's like he's trying to say Mimi kind of, you know, Gen Z type of stuff, and it comes off so cringy at times, and that's not because of like they want to make him goofy. I think it's like, dude, you're an old man saying Gen Z kind of thingies, and it's not working. But then the problem is Asher Angel, Billy Batson doesn't do that. You know what I mean? He doesn't because there was a perfect time when they're playing the game, you know, like they're playing Call of Duty and stuff like that, and they never, like, that would have been the perfect time for him to like say all these like tropey like video game kind of things that people say, and he did it, you know. So for me, it was more Zachary Levi, because I like how he is as Shazam, but I think him and Asher Angel need to like sit down and like okay, this is how we're gonna play this character, because they're the same person, so they need to be on the same level, kind of like how Freddy was with both versions of Freddy. You know, with Jack Dillon and Adam Brody, was like they understood it. They understood who this character is.
Everyone else was exactly the same except
yeah. So, I thought they were gonna actually kill Shazam. I thought that, you know,
I didn't say any of them were going to be strong enough to kill Shazam. I didn't think those characters, they were menacing enough to do that.
Well, I thought he was going to kill himself. Like he was going to sacrifice himself to finish off the battle. You know, and I know that's another thing you said. Do you guys think the Billy was actually going to die as well? But I never got that. I never, maybe a little bit for like a brief second at the end. I'm like, oh, is he gonna like sacrifice himself to save the world, kind of thing?
The entire time I thought that we were gonna get Wonder Woman. After seeing, you know, was it Digimon, whatever? After seeing him in that outfit, I was like, yeah. So I'm just waiting for Wonder Woman. I was like, you know, and they foreshadowed it so much. The movie telling was so foreshadowed. Like I knew that we were going to get that at the end.
Yeah.
So I was just like, we need the power of God. But she was like, guess what? I'm a demigod. Like, power of Zeus, I can do this. You know, like, it's like, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. But what's funny is how they talk. What do you mean? Like how Shazam was? Yeah, like he was over the top with it. He was so over the top with being like it, but none of the other people were like that. None of the other super versions of the kids were like that besides him. Like everyone else was like, hey, like being normal kind of thing. And he was like, oh, come on, guys, we gotta do this. We gotta watch the replay, guys. I was like, dude, man, like it doesn't, what are you talking about? You're 17, you're not fucking 12. It's like, but it made sense for Megan Good, for Darla.
She's a little girl.
She was a little girl, but even then, she didn't over exaggerate it much. She was just like
stole some kittens. Yeah.
If we saw that was the kind of character that Billy Batson was, and if they, just to kind of circle back around to this, if they didn't wait until the kid actors kind of aged out of
if Billy at the time they were filming, he was 18, 17 going to 18. He was the age of the character. So I don't feel like that was the problem. I feel that they just were on the wrong page. They just totally were just on like he was a 17-year-old and Zachary Levi was acting like he was 13.
Yeah.
Like he didn't read the script. He was like, oh, wait a minute, you're 17?
No, I think he did what the script was asked of him. It's just that maybe I don't know if the screenwriters were just writing two very different scripts for these characters.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Maybe the screenwriter, I forgot what his name was. Maybe he kind of failed on a fundamental level to understand how a 17-year-old kid would talk.
Yeah. But how do you get it right with everyone else and then fail with the main character?
I'm not sure because they've done it twice at this point.
Yeah, they really did. Because I thought if he died, it would probably have changed when Gunn became in charge. Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been a nice little send off for the character, and like, and now we're done with this version of Shazam. But
instead, give us two credit scenes and credit scenes, like. All right.
So they're cringe today, and that's how they talk. So what's given is what you're gonna get. Nah, man. Like, don't be a boomer, Derpy.
Don't be a 20-year-old boomer, Derpy.
No, I don't think it's cringe. It's just they have their lingo, man. Like back when we were in high school, there was a certain lingo. Back when our parents were in high school, there was a certain lingo. It's just. It is what it is. One of my favorite TikToks is somebody translating Gen Z into millennial, and it's like, oh, that no cap, and they're like, oh yeah, that's saying they're not lying, it's like, so like all these like things like that, but I think they had a chance to do it playing the video games, because when you play video games, there's all these like, funny kind of things, like, oh man, he just pwned me, like, oh no, I think you could have like made Billy more kiddie that would have at least matched Zachary Levi, but I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was very cringy. I don't think it was cringy because that's just the way they talk. I think it was cringy because it was a damn near he's got to be 40, right? Yeah, a 42-year-old man trying to act like not even a 17-year-old, like a freaking 13-year-old.
A 13-year-old, that was the problem.
Well, yeah, that was going to happen no matter who played the role of Shazam, because that's the whole point of the character. He's a man-child, but it's just the lack of correlation between Billy Batson and Shazam in terms of characterization.
Yeah,
no matter who was going to play Shazam, it was that was the assignment. They were always going to act like a kid. There just has to be more correspondence or correlation between the two characters. So Zachary Levi did what he was asked. Asher Angel did what he was asked. They both did fine in their own right. It's just
it was two different rights.
There needs to be more. There needs to be more of a match.
Yeah.
And if depending on what happens moving forward, whether or not they keep moving forward with the same group of actors, or they completely cast new ones and just scrap it. There just needs to be just more of a match.
Yeah. Which yeah. They never made it seem like these guys were like hanging out. I don't know.
Dude,
But he said the line, the line from the dead when he went, like, why? I thought it was the mom that said it. Like, why are our kids are into all these?
The mom did say it. Yeah, the mom did say it.
Yeah,
the dad was thing too. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Yeah, that whole thing with Rachel Zegler and Jack Dylan Grazer was pretty icky.
I'm 6,000 years old, and here's a kid.
Yeah. Well, I think that was it. The dad there was like, "Is this okay?" Like, you know, and then later on with Wonder Woman, the mom was like, "What's up with them liking older women?"
Yeah, somebody call Chris Hansen.
Right.
I was gonna say, there's a reason, Rosa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there's a reason. And look in the mirror.
They busted in your bedroom while you were sleeping and
blame yourself. That's all I got.
Blame yourself. Yeah. It was like, I don't know where, man. Yeah, it's a funny line, so it don't matter. But yeah. It, like I said, it had its funny moments, but none of them went too far. Like a lot of people are complaining about the whole Skittles thing, and I thought it was good. They didn't overdo it. I think if they overdid, I think the second time when she's on the horse and she's like, "Taste the rainbow, mother," and then it cuts away. Yeah. I was like, okay.
That was funny.
That's getting to the edge of getting to the limit, but it never. Nothing got too much where it was like, the 10th time we saw a screaming goat. So
yeah.
But
did you not like Digimon Hansu as the wizard? Because he was like, I like Billy Batson, and then I hate Billy Batson, and you're not worthy, and you've always been worthy. I was like, dude, you just 5 minutes he's not worthy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was fine with Jaimon Hansu as a acting wise, because I don't think I've ever seen a bad performance from him. Just kind of had trouble, similar to what I've been saying with Asher Angel and Zachary Levi. Like I had trouble kind of buying that this was the same character that he played in the first one.
Yeah.
They were very wholly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even a matter of like character development or character progression. They just seem like two different characters.
Yeah. And they never really explained why he was in jail either.
Yeah. Because you were under the assumption that he was dead.
He went away, and then they
in the first one.
He went to a different plane of existence. He never died. He just went to a different plane of existence, and then he walked through the door from that plane of existence. So he's back into the original plane of existence. So now he's able to hold on to the staff and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and then they could use him if they want to recast everybody. They could just use him and say, "Oh yeah, it's all part of this thing."
Yeah. But I didn't hate it. It was a little annoying. I was like, dude is like every 5 minutes has a different feeling. But
I hate you. I love you. You've always been my favorite. I hate you. Why did I choose you? I don't know.
Yeah.
That was all in 5 minutes. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But said what confused me is if the Flash ending the DCU, why is Aquaman? We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll mark that for later. But cool, let's get into our ratings for this one. Bring it up. So we rate things a little bit different here, nice and easy. Now, later, never. Now means check it out now. Go run to the theater, check it out before it gets ruined. Later means you can wait till it's on streaming, not that big of a deal. And never means don't waste your time, don't waste your money, skip it. With that being said, Brandon, what you giving this one?
I think I'm gonna have to give this one a later. It's entertaining enough. It's a fun enough time. I think it did its job, but at the same time, I don't think it's really anything you need, like rush and go knock down the door to go check out. It's especially with the DC universe kind of being retooled anyway, and this may or may not even being a part of that. as fun a time as I had, as entertained as it kept me, I don't really think it's anything that you need rush out for. It was fine, but it's not like, oh, go see it now. I'm not. I'm not as excited for that as I am, like John Wick or Dungeons and Dragons. It was fine enough, but it's like you don't have to. There's no rush. You don't need to put a rush on it. So I'll give it a later.
Okay, what you giving it, Brian?
I'm giving everything that's coming out this year from the DCEU a later, because the DC already told me, Warner Bros. Already told me it doesn't matter. I felt that way before the movie. I saw the movie. Now I saw the movie, and I'm still giving you the same exact answer of what I thought before. Like literally, they already told me it doesn't matter. They're not marketing it. They're not telling us when it comes out. And then we're supposed to like, oh, it came out, guys, and they're shooting themselves in the foot on purpose. I don't understand why they did the two in credit scenes, but it's a later because no one needs to see it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, so it gets a later. So if it did matter, maybe I'll be like, yeah, it was good enough to go watch. If you have nothing to watch this week, go watch it. No, it doesn't matter. It's not going to go anywhere with the DCU, and it's a later. Done. I'm going to say the same. You can copy that, cut it up, and put it in every DCEU movie that comes out this year.
With it, I mean, I'll give this one a benefit of the doubt where Shazam number 1 had nothing to do with the DCEU.
But you just said it was a Zack Snyder film.
Yeah,
it's not.
It came out in the section. It was supposed. I think it was supposed to become part of something, but then The Rock, ruined it because they set up the ending of Shazam 1 for The Rock to be the bad guy, and then The Rock's ego got in the way. He's like, "Hold on, I'm the main guy," So The Rock ruined this movie, and Warner Brothers ruined this movie by not marketing it. So. It for me, it's a fun movie. It was good. I think if you like the first one, you're gonna like this one. It's really in the same exact kind of vein of it all. It's everything's the same, just different villains. I mean, the weapon that the villain uses is the same. I mean, that's how much of the same it is. So it's definitely a later. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun time. The villains were okay. The story was okay. All the acting was okay. It was a little goofy at times, which what you expected, especially after the first one. So for me, it's a later. Nothing too crazy for it. And like Brian said, it's not tied into what's coming up next. So especially if you like a big cinematic universe, then it's definitely not that important. You can wait till it's on streaming when it's on HBO Max or something like that. But yeah,
the way the numbers are looking, that might be tomorrow.
You are not lying. You are not lying. So I'm Rotten Tomatoes. The audience gave it 87, which is not bad.
That's good.
Which is not bad for an audience score. But the critics gave it a 53 on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's
what's funny is because the first Shazam, the critics gave a 90.
Did they?
Yeah. And what most critics are saying is that once again the same stuff that we're saying is the characters aren't equal. They don't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That was the biggest issue. But in the first movie, I was able to look away enough where I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I'm like, but now it's like, no, like you need to know how these characters need to be the same person because they are the same person. So, and that was the issue they had. But we said Taxi Gamer said, except for the Flash. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see it first. I might still say the same thing. Like it's a later. It's a great film. Later.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm just not interested in giving the Flash any of my money.
Yeah, that's like the more and more I think about it, the more and more I might.
You guys are just saying that because you're afraid.
What?
I'm saying that because Ezra Miller's just a trash human.
Yeah, but I'm saying because you realize Warner Brothers is still Warner Brothers, and they for all the money, man. I'm gonna say if it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time tonight to go down that alley.
Yeah, exactly. Fair play. Yeah. I don't want to support. I mean, me and my girlfriend, like especially my girlfriend, was like really like, I really don't want to see it because I don't want to support Zachary Levi. You know what I mean? But it looks like no one did, so that's not that big of a deal because it only made $30 million.
What?
Which is insane. I think originally this was a tracking at 85 initially. Then it kept dropping. The lowest I saw was about 40. I think was the last time I saw what they projected it at, and it did even worse than that. This is, I believe, the second. Well, if you count a cartoon, this is the third lowest of the DC movies. So the worst of the worst was Super Pets, all right? That did the worst opening weekend. And then right above that was the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad did the second worst opening, and then this is the third worst opening for a DC movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Which,
it's possible that it makes more money worldwide than it does domestically.
Oh, 100%. Worldwide, markets love the comic book movies, especially it not being like, a minority.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So I could definitely see that, but where do you think it's going to end? Is it going to hit it probably hit 100?
Oh yeah, it's at 64 million. Worldwide.
64 right now. Yeah, worldwide.
Yeah, so it's going to hit somewhere like 250.
Yeah, I can see that. Probably under or over Black Adam. Black Adam is almost 400.
It's under.
It's on.
It might be under that. Yeah.
It's under Black Adam.
It'll probably be under that. Yep.
Because Black Adam came out in November when nothing else was coming out until you got to Avatar. See, the problem with this, next week we're talking about John Wick already. I'm like sitting there scratching about John Wick. 2 days.
Yeah. The next 3 weeks: John Wick, Dungeons and Dragons, Super Mario.
Yep.
By Super Mario, no one's talking about Shazam. So yeah,
like, did that come out yet?
Yeah, dang. So, but yeah. So before we go, one last thing: the post-credit scenes. Yeah. I didn't know there was two. I only seen the first one, the mid-credit, I guess. I don't know if we should, I guess, spoilers with that one.
It doesn't matter. No one's going to see it.
No one's going to see it. So, what's her name? The two guys from Peacemaker and from Suicide Squad. What's her name? Something Cold Heart. What the hell's her name? I can't think of her name. But James Gunn's wife, which is why a lot of people were pissed off about that. And then Steve Agee's character, which was the big goofy kind of guy in Peacemaker. They show up and they're inviting Shazam to be part of the Justice Society, not the Justice League, the Justice Society. So I wonder.
They said we want you to join the Justice League. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in. I did it. And then they're like, Society is like, is that like the B team?
Yeah.
That's what you get for the B movie. You get the B team.
Yeah, you get the B team. And then I think that was kind of cool. That was kind of like fun. So the rumor was it was supposed to be Hawkman and Dr. Fate, or Hawkman and the Cyclone chick. That's who it was supposed to be.
Or like Dr. Fate, that would have been pretty cool.
Well, I think since he died. But it was supposed to be I know for sure Hawkman and one of the other two. That's who it was supposed to be, but then issues happen, this and that. Obviously, Warner Brothers is going through a bunch of shit right now with DC. So the director, because Peter Safran was producer on this one as well, and now he's the new guy in charge. He made some phone calls and he brought in those two, and did the same kind of thing, but with two different characters. So. Yeah,
it would have been better with Dr. Fate and Hawkman. It would have been amazing.
It would have been, I think, because then you could set it up. Then this movie matters for maybe possibly going forward. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know with that. But one of the funniest parts of that whole thing was like him looking at different names that have justice in it You know, and he was just like, he goes, "Oh, there's too many things," and he says, "What the Avengers Society or something like that," and that was kind of funny. That put a smile on my face. That was kind of goofy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Levi is funny. He's a funny, fun guy. It's just that it just didn't match this one movie, but he's fun. I liked him as Shazam. I mean, I did.
Yeah. So that's after that I left. So there's a second post-credit scene.
Yeah,
so this one I don't know.
So do you remember Dr. Savannah?
Yeah, Mark Strong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they revisit him in jail.
Oh, he's not dead?
No, he's in jail.
No, he's not jail. Yeah. Still writing stuff on the symbols on the prison walls.
On the wall.
Yeah. So the whole wall's covered with prison, all the writings and stuff like that. And then the little caterpillar thing walks in. The worm villain thing walks in. He's like, dude, I've been waiting for you for 2 years. What's taking you so long? He's like, I don't walk fast. And he's like, I'm about to tell you my entire plan. And my entire plan, oh man, I forgot something. And he walks off. Slowly again.
Slithers off all slowly.
He's like, what are you doing, Mr. Mind? Well, come get back here. And yeah, that's kind of where it's.
That's kind of funny.
That's left hanging still.
Waiting for the evil worm thing. Okay. Okay. Not too bad. So the second one doesn't really set up anything. It's just kind of like a goof on the first one.
Yeah,
it's wasn't it supposed to set up the Monster Society of Evil?
Wow.
I'm not sure.
It was supposed to set up because like Mr. Mind, Dr. Savannah, you're gonna get the Monster Society of Evil. You're gonna get the all the bad to go against all the Shazam, and they were supposed to be with the Rock. And then now you have Shazam and Black Adam versus the Monster Society, and they both joined the Justice Society. So you have the Justice Society versus the Monster Society, and that's what it was supposed to be. So my question is, why the hell did they even show that?
See, I wouldn't have thought it. Like, I guess you could do that, but I think it was just a funny like callback too. That doesn't necessarily have to set anything up. It could just be a funny callback. Because I didn't know about the whole Monster Society thing. Well, it makes sense.
It was supposed to be at the end of the first Shazam. That was what was supposed to be in set up.
Yeah,
that was what they're supposed to be doing, and they never really covered it. It just was.
Yeah,
like,
I'm telling you, man.
Delivered on.
The Rock shot this franchise down worse than Warner Brothers.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
James Gunn.
He put his ego first.
Guys, this movie would have done well if James Gunn didn't tell you it didn't matter. This movie would have made money if James Gunn didn't say this movie didn't matter. It's on him. They didn't market it, and they already told you that it doesn't matter, and that's what killed it. I blame them 100%. Do you want to blame The Rock? The Rock's a dude. He's just, even if The Rock was in it, this wouldn't have made money if he said it doesn't matter going forward. As soon as he said that, all bets were off.
See, but does it though? Because Zachary Levi was asked the question like, "Oh, so they're replacing you?" He's like, "I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I don't think so." Because Zachary Levi believes he's not being recast. He believes Shazam is moving forward.
He might be right, but it doesn't matter. But once James Gunn said what he's, this is the end of the DCEU as we know it. No one's going to go see this movie.
Yeah.
He did it more than Black Adam because they could recast Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Candy The Rock is freaking.
What if they made Vin Diesel it?
Oh God.
Family.
Yeah. At least that would make more sense.
Well, he at least would have been a team player.
Yeah.
Really. He would talk to us and advantage to driving a really cool car.
Black Adam driving a cool car.
he
Dodge Charger.
He would have made Black Adam a very boring character, but at least he would have been a team player.
Yeah.
This is a widow's peak. In the ears. It has to be about family, which means it has to be about him. Don't mistake. When he says family, he means me.
Sure.
Me, I'm my own family. All right. But cool. Let's move on to some other stuff. So Toxic Gamer said, I gotta go hit you guys. Nice hanging out with you guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
With you all again. Yeah, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us for the review. And we'll check out your review when it comes out too. So I know Toxic Gamer, go check them out. But cool. That's our review for this one. It went on a little bit longer than I expected, but it was all good. It was a good conversation. Because it's bad. It sucks when it's a good movie and everything just fails on it, but we'll see.
I blame Warner Brothers, and I don't believe in them until they show me I should. I just don't. I won't.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me for 28 years, shame on me.
Yeah, it's been that long. I was like, is it? Yeah, it's been. But cool. So we're gonna move on to another topic. But before we do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We need some help getting to 1,000, and hitting that like button helps push us to more people, and hitting that subscribe button helps us get to 1,000. So make sure you do those two things. If you're watching on replay, thank you, appreciate it. Leave a comment down below how you like Shazam: Fear of the Gods. Did it suck? Did it not suck? Let us know your thoughts on that one. And if you're watching live, stick around because we are going to talk about some other stuff. But cool.
Yes.
All right. I'll speak. So I know, Brandon, whenever you need to head out.
Yeah. What were we doing anything next or?
Luther.
I say we just do.
We're probably just Luther. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we already did the one trailer, so that's good for a name. And then just Luther.
I need to do. I'm gonna do. We gotta do Star Trek because I have that down there.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get around to either of those. So, and I want to get up in time early enough before work. So,
you doing 500 push-ups first?
Say what?
Do 500 push-ups before you
500 push-ups.
Oh, that's tomorrow morning.
See,
before I go to work. 5:30 a.m.
I don't believe 5:30 a.m. I don't believe until I don't believe until 6:15. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
But yeah, I'm gonna hop off so I can get up early.
All right, you better have a good day, man.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
All right. Good talk. Peace.
Later.
All right. Bye. All right.
Cool. So I was gonna say, so before the movie was the Fast and Furious trailer, and we decided to keep count how many times they say family in that movie. They say it
shots. Oh my god!
They say it 7 times. They say it 7 times. That's insane.
Family.
Yeah.
Family.
Vin Diesel says it at least twice. Momoa says it twice. The mom in the beginning says it twice, I think too. I think they say it 7 times. We tried keeping track of it, and it was like, wow, like seriously, even in the trailer.
John Cena says, "And I don't look like," and they say family.
Yeah, it was insane how many times they said family. I couldn't believe it because I know what was it before 65, the movie 65, that trailer played, and they said it a bunch of times. So we're like, oh my god, we should have counted. And then the trailer started like, oh, we're counting. we're gonna confirm. Yeah, 7 for what, a 2.5 minute trailer, maybe.
You might as well just play into it, like when you know it's. Just play into the joke now at this point.
Yeah, it's too much. It's super goofy. But yeah. Oh man. I think that's it for anything else. But yeah, we'll probably get right into well, real quick, because I know you know he left, but he was talking about like Toxic Gamer said, what confused me is the Flash ending the DCEU. Why is Aquaman 2 coming out after? Probably because Johnny Amber Heard trial, probably. I don't know. That's a good question because I have no idea why they decided to do that. I have no idea why they decided to.
They're gonna like clone Aquaman and then send him into space. He's gonna come back as Lobo. It's gonna be something so stupid that no one thought about it. Like, I can't believe they just did that.
That would be stupid, funny. You get sent out. They put him on a motorcycle and send him to space, and then somehow he turned into Lobo. Paradox. Yeah, I don't know why they did that because even James Gunn said the Flash is the end of it, and it's like the what do you call it, like the transfer point or transition point or something like that. I forgot what he said.
It's just a flash point.
I know, right? Missed opportunity, but then there's like, oh, here's the end of it, and then one more movie, and now we're done. It was like, what? I don't know. And then hear this stupid ass shit like. It's so stupid that Tom Cruise wanted to see the Flash movie because he heard so much about it, and then he bugged a bunch of people and got to see it early and said it's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds like Tom Cruise,
and it sounds fake as shit. Like, there's no way that's real.
No, I believe 100%.
You think Tom Cruise cares about anything that has not to do with him? Like, he's worried about Mission Impossible. Why would he go watch a Flash movie?
Because his kids want to see it.
I suppose it was just him. I don't even think he has custody of his kids.
He doesn't have to have custody. It was a dad weekend. He didn't know what else to do. He had to have it. They need a movie. He want to get. They said they want to see the Flash. He called up the person and say, "Find me the Flash," and they went and did it. I'm telling you, Tom Cruise did it. He's big enough a star to do that. It'll take someone like that big to get that.
Yeah. So supposedly it's, I don't know. He loved it. I guess I thought it was fake. I guess it's not fake. He goes, Cruise's reaction was a surprise to all after he watched an early screening of the new release. The A-lister said that the movie was so good that he wanted to call its director. Yeah, we wanted to call its director Andy. Was that Muschietti? The Flash is everything you want in a movie, said Cruise. That he loved it.
I mean, if John Campea is reporting it, everyone's saying it, man. I don't know. Brandon says, "Don't bring Tom into this."
It's crazy. It's crazy.
She's trying to be old man Flash. That's all.
Yeah, but it's also like how to promote the movie without putting Ezra Miller everywhere. Hey, Tom Cruise, here's a bunch of money. Say it was good. Like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Or if he actually thinks it was good,
I think he probably just thinks it was good.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a rumor saying that he's just a big Flash fan. Which I'm like, okay.
You're a movie fan. He's been rumored in every franchise for like 2 decades. Yeah. So I just think he's a huge superhero fan and he's enjoying it. So that's why.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good way to put a lot of marketing out there without putting Ezra Miller, because Ezra Miller is not going to be in a lot of the marketing, and they've been doing it really good so far. Besides the trailer, even in the trailer. It's all about Batman.
No, he's been in the flesh. He's still in it a lot.
What? No, in the movie. I'm not saying, but I'm saying like the marketing, like the.
They show Ezra Miller being him. It hit it twice. Like it's double the Ezra Miller. So that's why I feel like I don't know. It probably is going to be amazing, and we're going to really have to really sweat this out. Like. It's really going to make like $1.8 billion. Like it's going to be like the blockbuster of the summer, and people are going to say, "I don't want to see it," and then other people are going to tell them like it is that good, and you have a problem.
But then see, so this could easily disprove my theory of the Snyder fans not supporting, the shit. This is directly to do with Snyder.
I don't think it's going to be Snyder fans. I think DC people are going to want to see this because everyone's hearing about it. People are going to go see it. And it has nothing. I think it's not going to be the Snyder fans because I think the Snyderverse is over. I think it's going to be they're going to be supporting the Netflix stuff that he's going to be doing. But I totally believe everyone's going to hear this and say this movie is going to be great. I have to see it. And it's going to be coming out the right time in the summertime when no one has anything else to do, and it's going to blow the doors off stuff.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah. As we get closer, I'm really curious about the red carpet and everything like that. Like
don't talk about it. Do it. Don't televise it.
No, they always got to make it a big. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not because
they haven't recently. All these red carpet events have not been big deals. They've talked about the red carpet, but they haven't been televised or anything like that.
You go in a bunch of pictures. That's all it is
or you have other people saying they saw the movie and say how amazing it was during the red carpet event.
I can see them doing that a lot. Well, this movie's coming out in CinemaCon, and I think that's really gonna tell us how this movie is. Because if those guys come out, if John Campea is one of the guys that's gonna see it, and when is that? Should be soon, right?
It's the beginning of
April, May. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if these guys come out and they're like, "This is a great movie," you really don't need to do marketing. You let the people who watch the movie say how great it is, and
word of mouth. You gotta remember some of these movies. Some movies are so good. Word of mouth travels so fast, and it gets great ratings. I wouldn't be surprised if it does this, and then in overseas people love it. And love is toxicity, and people want to know because toxicity actually brings people to the movie theater.
Yeah. I mean, the Tom Cruise thing is definitely a big win for them. To have Tom Cruise saying he loved it and he called the director and this stuff, I thought it was fake. I'm not even kidding. I thought it was fake. Everyone's saying this is real.
It seems right up Tom Cruise's alley. I can see it. I mean, he loves superhero movies, so just why I could definitely see it. And him just wanting to be Tom Cruise and say, I get to see it early because I'm Tom Cruise. Has this anyway, it works. So
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. I am curious about it. But all right, we're getting to Luther and call it a night.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, do you wanna lead this one then?
Sure.
Why
not?
It's your show.
Since I watched it for the last decade, I might as well do this. All right, if we're doing this, then we're doing this because I made all the Shazam stuff. We didn't even change it up. See, I had it ready.
Nice. I gotta send you the templates because then you can put things in the areas where it's going to be like when there's three of us, it's the bottom corners. I gotta send you the templates because then you can put things in a certain space and then know where it'll be showed.
I did. That definitely would have helped out. I'm saying, whatever.
Then you can kind of make your own. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Cool.
And back to our next topic, guys. On blah 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 blah. Spoiler Kings. Okay, let's mess that up. Let's try that one more time. And welcome back to Spoiler Kings, guys. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Tank Kramer. Our next topic is Luther, the Fallen Son. I've been watching Luther since about 2009. The TV series, BBC. I've been searching it out. So to finally get a movie and it be on Netflix and it be that accessible, I was excited.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know anything about it besides Ezra Miller's in it, So, and it's a character in a series he's been doing. I'm sorry. Oh my God, we were talking about Ezra Miller. I am so sorry. Idris Elba. Idris Elba is in it. And Idris Elba has been in this series for a long time, like you said. So, it's usually a good sign where a high value actor wants to stick around to something like that. Either he knows he brings value to it or he really enjoys the character. And I think
he enjoys
playing.
He loves Luther because Luther got swag for days. Though he's depressed and he does not listen to anybody else. He just got swag. He's so cool. And then having this one have the villain be Andy Serkis, I was loving it.
Yeah,
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I pulled up a little synopsis, so I'm going to read this out real quick and just kind of so everyone kind of gets understanding what it is. This is definitely rated R. It's definitely a thriller. And if you want to see the old stuff, it is on Hulu right now. So they're playing and showing all the other seasons on Hulu right now. So, real quick, this is what we're going to do. The synopsis. I'm going to read it. It says, a serial killer terrorizes London while disgraced detective John Luther sits behind bars. Haunted by his failure to capture the cyber psychopath who now taunts him, Luther decides to break out of prison to finish the job by any means necessary. And that's what it is. And that's what Luther is. You know anything about Luther? He's going to do it by any means necessary. He does not care about none of your problems. He's going to fix it. Just because I feel like he's the kind of guy that you put a puzzle in front of him, he has to finish it. If he told you he's going to do something, he has to be a man of his word.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you miss. You miss those things because I've seen all the seasons. I know how his marriage broke up. I know his love for Alice and all stuff, because if he says something, he's going to follow through. But none of that matters for this movie. I feel like this movie still stands for its own. What do you think about it? Yeah.
Man, this movie had some great parts. So I've never seen any of the Luther series besides the stuff you told me about when we did the trailer reaction, and it sounded interesting, sounded fun. And then watched the movie, and I was afraid I'll be lost, but you're not. It's definitely a standalone movie. This is like the only Luther thing you've seen. Then you know exactly how it is, and man, it makes me want to go back and watch the shows now. Like, it legit, I want to watch the seasons. But I felt like it was like a Batman movie. Very, very like Luther is like Batman / James Bond without the titles. You know, like he's very menacing, very detective-y. So that's part of me remind me of like Batman kind of stuff.
Film. It's a very noir film. Yeah.
You know, James Bondy, because he was doing a bunch of cool stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just the British accents, but
James Bondy, that's what he does. Yeah,
but it's like James Bond / Batman. Like if this man were to throw on a Batman suit, I can easily believe this is a Batman movie. Easily. Like
he broke out of prison. He looked exactly like Batman breaking out of prison, just beating up people.
Yeah, the fight scenes were amazing. Oh man, that fight scene of him coming out of the jail was awesome. You know, and it was definitely like, I don't know why. Like that where my head went to right away was like Batman. You know, and him, you know, going through things, calling like being a detective, you know, because he is a detective in the show. But
he's a detective. The more you know, the more you realize that he's the best detective. He does not lose. Yeah. He would do whatever. The law is just a guideline to him. That he's a habitual line stepper. They didn't explain, like, when they found out all the stuff that he's done, how like it was like, you're going directly to jail. Yeah, because that's what he does. He literally habitually line steps. He just done a lot of bad stuff. Because he's not a good guy, but he's a great detective. And he's a stand-up person. And I think that makes the character even cooler.
Yeah. So it was the action was great. The acting, obviously, Idris Elba and Andy Serkis. Well, Andy Serkis was great. And you forget because anytime you hear Andy Serkis, you think of Planet of the Apes and you think of Lord of the Rings. You know, he was Gollum and he was Caesar, and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. It was like, he's so good, man. He's so good, and that's a reason why I'm really pissed off that they killed him in Black Panther. Yeah. I was like, he could have been a really good bad guy. He was Claw. I'm like, he's good. He's a great actor, and in this one, he was really good. He was really, really good, and I like his. Doesn't he beat? Although his hair looks stupid as shit, but his hair was like very.
It's my movie.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing? I'm assuming that was a wig. I mean, maybe he did grow his hair. I don't know. It was his wig or no wig. His hair was a little funny, but he's so good, man. He's so good, and he just knows how to be evil, like he's not just a bad guy. This guy's evil. Like,
he literally coached people to kill themselves at the time that he wanted them to kill him.
Yeah,
go ahead, jump.
And he used fear. You know, that's why again why it reminded me like Scarecrow kind of thing. You know, he used fear of stuff. So like this whole movie was like.
It was like watching The Batman with a black guy,
kind of,
except not being old.
Yeah. It just
old,
very. very, very much like a Batman kind of movie, and it was really good. Andy Serkis crushed it. Well, what's her name? The detective chick,
Cynthia Info.
Yeah, I thought she was really good.
Yeah,
like you believed her, like when she did certain things and why she did certain things.
Because it made all of it was so good. I thought they just did a good job making the movie, and they stayed true to everyone's character. Was it? I even love the DCS Martin. I think his name is Demont Crowley. I loved him. He's been trying to find. He was trying to find Luther in other movies, but they're just friends. He just, I know what he is. I know how good he is. I'm not going to get in anyone's way. I know what he is. And oh man, my only thing was I did not like seeing Anaya Rain. I thought that they killed her. I thought that they literally strangled her right in front of her mom. I thought that was too much for me. And I can't watch this. And the fact that they didn't, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I thought
the daughter.
The daughter. I thought that was too much.
Yeah.
But they didn't, so it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was I mean, they did a lot of other things that were like a lot. Like
people just jumping off of buildings,
the burning, I guess spoilers and all that, but when towards the end of the movie and they're getting into the house in the middle of like the ice kind of area, and under the water, under the ice were all these bodies. I was like, oh my god, like like how he's able to keep these bodies, fresh, for like 11 years, because it was like 11 years to just a year ago, he used these bodies to send a certain message, and they all were like, I don't know, it was really, really cool. Even the house was super cool. The way that whole scene in just a snow desert was super cool.
It was so well planned out. I mean,
yeah, it was. I love that. Yeah. Like the motive for Andy Serkis, it's not like a motive where it was like a Joker almost motive. Exactly. It's like like just watching the world burn because my world is so effed, so therefore everyone else's world's got to be.
It was effed. Like he's the dude. I'm going to ruin his life because he's the antithesis of me.
Yeah,
I'm just going to ruin your life no matter what. Yeah, I thought those are the scariest people, right?
Yeah.
The ones that just are doing it just because I'm a sociopath. That's just what I am.
Yeah, I think he liked bringing other people down, because the whole thing of putting it on the internet of all this like violence and stuff was like, see, people are bad like me, and that again reminded me of like the Heath Ledger Joker kind of thing. It was like oh, if you give the people the chance to be who they are, they're going to show you that they're evil or bad, and I think that's what he was trying to prove, because the whole Luther thing was, he kept saying like he knows how to tell a person if they're a good person or a bad person. Yep. Like that came up a few times. And Andy Serkis just like, he goes, oh yeah, I was right next to you. You didn't know I was a bad person, so therefore, you suck at your job and you're a bad person too. It's like
funny. It's funny. He's like, and I remember you now.
yeah. See, I wasn't sure if like he was just being a badass and just like getting him all amped up, But man, like it starts off pretty crazy. Starts off kind of good, and then it gets progressively crazier. But it's like the movie really starts when he gets out of prison. Yeah. And all that before that, like the prison scene was awesome. And then the movie starts, like really starts, the cat and mouse kind of thing happens, and and then it just escalates to that finale, and that finale was just so good.
I love the way. Well, first of all, I hated the way the creator Aldrich came and said, "You made me a promise," knowing he just got arrested like the next minute after he made a promise to her. Like, about you promised mama. So I was like, how is he going to do it, lady? It's not he's going to how. But that was the first thing I thought that was stupid. But I love the fact that when he was in prison, the respect the guards had for him, but they couldn't. They had to hide it in order to protect him. The reverence they had for him, they said, I love this dude. And then the guys that are going after him and chasing after him, he was still a good guy. He was standing next to them. I thought he was going to run off when someone came in. He was going to try to play him off. No, he was there like, no, hey, I remember you. Yeah, we gotta make sure you're okay. Hey, let's hold him. Let's keep him alive. Like he was so good, and he said, and the guy was like, "No, you need to run. Even though I was chasing after you, you need to run because you're the only one that's going to stop him."
Yeah,
that was just so cool.
Yeah, how did everyone respects him?
Yeah,
yeah, that was super cool. And then so Brandon Davis said, so I plan on watching this, but I saw this other one he did called Concrete Cowboy, which is another
Concrete Cowboy is amazing too.
yeah, I think it was Netflix, ain't it?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Idris Elba hardly misses him.
Caleb McLaughlin is in that. Method Man is in that. Byron Bowers is in it. Lorraine Toussaint is in it. That's all I can think on top of my head. But yeah, no, I remember Concrete Cowboy. That was a good one too. But Luther's this series is so good, and this series for people in BBC that love BBC made them want to make him James Bond because he is that good. He is that much swag. And if you guys just watch season 3, him and Alice, season 2, him and Alice are something else.
Yeah.
Wow. Watch season 1, enjoy it for what it is. These are real quick watches. Season 2 is so good. Season 3 with Alice is so good too. Oh my gosh. Like this series is amazing. That's why I'm so happy about this movie. And then the ending of this movie. So now, like, even though he was in prison, he's in prison.
No, it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu now.
All the seasons are on Hulu right now. The movie is on Netflix right now, but all the seasons are on Hulu.
I wonder how that worked out. It was like, oh, you're gonna get the movie, but the shows are going over here. I don't know. Copyright. It's weird. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm telling you, you're gonna watch it and you're gonna see. I'm telling you, him and Alice, the chemistry between them. Whoa. Oh. But staying on this movie specifically, what'd you think at the end? They're like, "Am I going back?" He's like, "I'm going back to jail." He wakes up and he's like in a house. Like, we can't put you in jail.
Yeah.
007.
Yeah, that's what I got, right? Because that's what they were kind of getting at. Like, he's gonna become like, what was it? What do they use over there?
He's almost like MI6 or head
MI6,
of MI6, or be like his own super spy or super detective. Like, he's going to be something even bigger. You can't have him on the streets, but if you want something solved, he's going to solve it. And the baddest ass way ever.
Yeah, because I can see them keep going with it, where it's like, all right, like he's not going to be 007. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to make Luther a thing.
That's what
and I can see him definitely do it.
People in Great Britain love Luther.
Yeah, I can see why. It's well done. I mean, some of these, England kind of shows like Sherlock, is amazing. It's so good.
It's another thing that he's very like Sherlock.
Yeah,
it's like a mix of all those type of things.
Yeah,
in this one guy.
It is. Yeah. So I can definitely see him. He's like, you know what? Keep your 007. I'm going to make Luther up the thing, the new thing.
Yeah.
Because I can see them now. If he does become like this kind of super detective, kind of spy, kind of like Sherlock kind of person after the movie. If he does another season or another movie, maybe he starts turning these into movies.
He said he's never going to close the door on Luther because it's so much. He's so involved with that character. I would never close the door on it. I was like,
I hope not, man. I'm definitely gonna get caught up on this and check it out because I see it, man. I see why you fell in love with it. I see why it's so popular overseas. It's hopefully this might be the thing that maybe brings it big in America because it really wasn't that big in America because I heard it, but it was never.
It was so hard to find.
But Something like Sherlock with Cumberbatch, like it's super huge over there. Over here, it's not, and it was like you said because it was so hard to find. But a great show.
Watch this. I remember the first time I watched Luther. This not too much of a tangent, but first time I watched Luther, my mom was telling me about it. I was like, I'll check it out. And I watched the first episode. I was like, all right, what happened next? And then I watched the second episode. I was like, all right, how much more in this is the season? I watched 3. And then by the time the sun came up, I was on season 3. and I was just going through them like it was nothing, and it was so good, and he kept me interested the entire time, and the storyline was great, and I think once you give it a chance, and Idris Elba is such a good actor. He's such a good actor. I want him to do anything. If you want to be old man T'Challa, he can be old man T'Challa. I don't care what he is. I want him as everything. Give me Idris Elba all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's a very, very rare L for like Dark Tower was kind of a rare L for him. But for the most part, man, he hits home runs all the time. You know. So yeah, no, like Brandon said, Sherlock was the shit. It was, man. It was. You know, and that's why it's like they know how to make good shows. You know, like Sherlock, I binged it. And then I might binge this now.
Great noir films. Be careful. Like I watched it on a Thursday. I did not sleep and went to work on Friday, came home, took a quick nap, and then watched the rest of it. It was so funny. Oh man.
Yeah. But I don't so I know a lot of good things. I think we both love this one. Any bad things on this one?
The stories, like if you've watched all the episodes, all the other shows, all the other seasons, the storyline just wasn't as good as some of the other seasons. So season 3 and season 4 are so good.
Yeah.
They're so good that like you look at it, it's like, man, it's a good standalone. And that's what they did. They tried to make a movie that you can watch standalone. And but the storylines and some of the other ones were better. You know, it's like you're only upset by how good it already was.
Yeah.
That's literally what I'll be upset with. And they didn't explain all the stuff that he's done in the past. I think he probably should have done that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, like none of that affected me because I don't know anything else about him. So I'm trying to like just stick to this one. It does get a little much at the end. You know, when everything finally comes together and you figure everything out, you're like, oh damn. So it's like if you missed a part, like even like a small part, you know, you could be lost at the end. So it did do a lot.
Noir films are. If you missed this small detail back there, you're not going to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, which I think for me it was not technically a bad part, but I can see it for the general audience. It's like, especially it being on Netflix, is people put on Netflix and it's usually background kind of things, you know, unless you specifically sit down and watch it. So I could see it being like, oh man, I'm gonna run to the bathroom, but let it play, don't pause it, you know, and you come back, you're like, wait, who's that? You know, so you know, but you know, it wasn't a bad thing because it is like a trope in these kind of detective kind of things where like every little thing matters. But the ending when everything came together was a little much because even myself, I was starting to question. I'm like, wait, so why did he do this? Like I had to sit there and think. I was like, oh, okay, he's just fucking evil. He's just a evil bad guy, you know. Like
a sociopath does things because they're a sociopath. That's just what it is.
Yeah, you know. So yeah,
I have one thing. Idris Elba that looks like he looks like Kevin Durant in hair. He looks like he doesn't own a brush, and he still looks good. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any damn sense. Damn it, Idris, how do you do that? I don't understand. He doesn't brush his hair the entire movie, and he's probably the best looking dude in the world.
He's the kind of guy that could pull off that just woke up look. You know what I mean?
All
like,
the time.
You know, like a permanent 5 o'clock shadow or like a 2 a.m. shadow where it's like nice and thick, got a little bit of gray in there. You know, like I said, doesn't brush his hair, but he's that kind of guy who can pull off that look. You know what I mean? Like put a tie on, but it's loose. You know, keep the top one undone and throw on a jacket. It just looks badass.
He always wears his little tweed coat.
Yeah.
Always. Everything. He always has a tweed coat. That's why they dry clean the tweed suit and they put it up in the closet. Like, we need that.
That's funny. But yeah, he's definitely a badass. He's a great actor, man. He's so good. Like them not casting him as 007 is so stupid. But You know what? I kind of rather see him doing this because I think he might have more control of what this character could do than a 007. And he can go and he can get crazy with it if he really wants to. You know, like they really left it open.
Tank, just watch those other seasons, and you're gonna realize that they're never gonna kill this character. You'll see how far they've gone and how crazy he's gone and how far they brought him back. And they're never gonna kill him because it's just so good. It could go anywhere, and he could go anywhere. And if Luther, I thought they were going to do is have Luther come to the United States, and then start a whole new chapter. And maybe they do.
That'd be interesting. Maybe eventually, yeah. You know, I could see him. You know, like I could legit really see this becoming a 007 type of thing. You know, like once he's done, maybe he's done acting. He's like, you know what, I'm too old. I can't do this stuff anymore. You know, it was like. And then somebody else is like, "Hey, we want to make a Luther movie." You know, cool, make him Luther. You know, and then it kind of starts a new trend of like, who's the new Luther?
You better have swag for days, and you better be 60.
Yeah, right. yeah. So but this one definitely like I was like, damn. Like a movie's good when I can go. I want to go back and watch 5 seasons of it now. It's like. That's where this movie put me at.
All right. So Rotten Tomatoes right now, the tomato meter, the critics 88 reviews only have it as a 67.
It's crazy.
The audience has it at 85. And later the critics say longtime fans would be happy to have more Idris Elba's brilliance as a detective, but Luther's fallen son is fairly uninspired addition to the case files because he's been so good before. It is one of the best series ever created on TV, and that's its only real downfall.
Yeah.
So it says its only downfall is that it was 100% before. So like this is not 100%. So we're not gonna. It's not worth it. Really?
Yeah.
That's what the critics. And then the fans say, if you can forgive a storyline that could have been better, Luther Fallen Son has plenty of everything that fans want in a show and everything we've been looking for. It says Idris Elba is brilliant.
Yeah. So like some of the bad ones though, it's kind of like what I was saying. So this one from the UK said Crosses, which is the creator, this one Neil Cross. Cross's plot doesn't so much thicken as coagulate into nonsense. And that's what I kind of like. I kind of mean is like at the end, a lot of stuff comes together. And it could be a little much for people. That's why even like for me, I had to stop and think, I'm like, wait, why did he do this? I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Like he just, went Joker mode, kind of, So
I thought more for me was that people weren't gonna like it because it's compared to a TV show. When you compare it to a TV show, you could really, flesh out the entire character, everything about everything. In a movie, you have to have a plot and you have to get to the point and you have to get to the end. They're just not used to seeing this character having, in
that like style of storytelling.
We have to go to the next thing. Instead, because most of Luther is like, we're going to go through every little piece, and it's going to be so good. At the end, you're going to be like, how did I not see it?
Yeah.
How did I not, But they didn't do this with this one,
Yeah.
But Luther is.
It's a movie.
Yeah. Luther is such a thing that you want your fix. You just need your fix of Luther. That's what it's almost like you're a drug addict and you're like, I need another hit. And when you're on that level, this is a perfect movie for you. It's just getting you another hit to get to the next step. And I hope they do another Luther. I really do.
Yeah, I liked it. So some of the bad ones are kind of silly too. So this one from Decider said it's unrelenting, grim and humorless, but hey, at least it's handsome, right? I was like, was there supposed to be humor in this? Because I don't what I'm like, and yeah, it's unrelenting. Oh man, I like stuffy outside. Grim and humorless. I'm like, that's what it is. It's supposed to be grim and humorless.
Film.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, some of them are a little like much like the twisted script doesn't offer compelling turns. Then again, the filmmaker dreamt up a sprinkler system that sprays kerosene. So there's that. I was like, really? That's what bothered you? There's kerosene?
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
Sprinkler systems come from water. All you do is put
Any
a pump
liquid
right there and put it in there, and it'll spray whatever the hell you want to spray.
Yeah, and it also makes sense. It was like, what do you do with the mess when you're done? You just burn it to the ground.
Exactly.
Turn it to ash. I was like, yeah. So yeah, it made sense. Like that's what he was gonna do. You know, and he was like a pyro kind of maniac too. You know, everything he did was set on fire. So yeah. I don't know. Some of the negative reviews are a little, you know. Somebody who actually seems like is like I can watch and rewatch the first 3 seasons of Luther endlessly, but Fallen Sun is a fine reminder why I stopped.
You know what it is? It's hard when you start. You guys are gonna watch the beginning of Luther, the first 3 seasons with him. The thing between him and Alice, it's just this thing between them that it's so they're so good. They're so well balanced, and Ruth Wilson is amazing. And I'm telling you, you guys you'll see it, and you're going to agree. Ruth Wilson is it. And matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised to make another Luther movie. And they bring Alice back
with her.
Yeah.
But
this is just to kind of get people on this Luther train and understand what it is. And if you get cooked, woo, be careful.
It got me. I'm hooked because that was good. That was really damn good. So I liked it. So I guess that's a good segue into our ratings, right?
Yep.
Oh man.
So what do we have? Yeah, where we're going to rate it? Where is there? All right. So here at the Spoiler Kings, we rate things a little bit differently. We do it with 3 different categories. We got now. You need to stop everything you're doing right now and watch this movie. We got later. When you ever get a chance, background music and background noise, as you're washing dishes, whatever, you can watch this when streaming. And you should never put it on your TV. Matter of fact, you should destroy your TV right now so you never have to have the worry of putting it on your TV. So with that being said, where would you rate Luther?
Man, I'm going to put this now. If you like action, if you like puzzle plots and good, like not who done it, but like why they're like really good versus evil. But in this case, the good is kind of bad. So it's kind of like, like bad versus evil. But it was definitely a now, man. It was so good. Idris Elba being like peak Idris Elba, Andy Serkis being a complete evil villain. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I never seen any of Luther. You just always hyped it up, and I was like, okay, yeah. But this, after watching this, 100% on the hype train for Luther. I am gonna watch all 5 seasons. I want another one. I want another movie, like soon, because it was good. The action was so good. Like he was just whooping ass and taking a hit, getting up and doing like all these like crazy stuff, and it wasn't like too like
he got stabbed. Guess what?
Yeah,
he bled.
He went super glue and then kept going. Yeah, so it was super cool. It was really really well done. Now I would put this. As of now, was it March 20th? This is maybe top 3 of the best movie. Maybe I would say my second favorite movie of the year. Favorite movie of the year so far.
I am right there with you. I am right there with you. I feel like this is my second favorite movie all year. Yeah. Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba. I love the character. I didn't mind the storyline because him just being Luther is enough. Mm-hmm. Him just do whatever he's gonna do. He could be walking around the streets of London. It's enough for me, and that's basically what it is. It is so very good. It's definitely not. It's definitely a now, but more than anything, this entire series is a now. So like, if you guys insomnia at any point in time you have insomnia, guess what you need to do? Start Luther. No matter you won't go to sleep because you won't be able to because you're gonna watch the entire series.
Yeah,
right there. So go ahead and hit it up and let us know what you think. Watch it. Jump in the comments. I want to hear what everyone thinks about this one because this one is one of my favorites. Please go do it. So yeah, I definitely have it as a super now. It's like a now with a cape on it.
Yeah. Just kicks all the other ones out. Just now. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Anything else you got here? Because I already kind of said my thing.
No. You got Martin making fun
Martin, of. Guys, well, I love Luther. I'm so glad we were able to talk about this. As I said, this is our review. Please hit the like button so we can know that you like what we're doing. We can put more content like this. I could maybe do a review of the other seasons of Luther. We could talk about all those type of things. But let us know you like it. Put get in the comments. We're on our way to 1,000. I think we're at 778 right now, or 779. We're on our way to 1,000. So please hit the notification button buzzer so we know we're going, and subscribe so we can get to 1,000. So I appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate Tank doing this review with me. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You got anything else before we go?
Nah, that's about it. It.
Well, thank you guys, and we will see you the next topic.
Yep.
Which is going to be nothing because we're done.
Yeah. Throw away my TV. Throw away this guy. That's the point, man. It's that much of never.
Yeah, that's how much never. We don't want you to even accidentally almost flip onto this TV.
So now, yeah.
I don't want you accidentally to see it and then just throw the TV. Just throw it away and never watch TV ever again. Just so you can avoid some of these nevers.
Like sick.
Like exactly, like sick.
Nice.
Or Pooh and Piglet. The Pooh.
All Blood and Honey.
Blood and
Honey. I haven't seen it. I was kind of hyped for it, and then I just saw people were like, "No, it's really bad. It's not even funny bad. It's just bad." So I was like, "Oh damn," because I was expecting like funny bad, but
it's bad. It takes itself too serious.
I guess I don't know. People were just like, it sucked. So we're at 781, man.
781 now. Man. Wow. Well,
kind of the first part of the month kind of sucked, but kind of going now.
I'm all for it though. I can't believe it. Yeah, so many in the last couple of days. So that's great.
Honestly, man, your Marvel and DC pull list, that got us like 3 subscribers, just that. So that was super cool, man. Definitely gotta keep that going.
Since I go there every other day, so
you watch it now.
I'm no longer. Hey, go ahead. You can stop watching this and make you put the comment first. Yeah, comment first and then go do it.
Yeah.
Follow directions, Martin.
How you think? Hope you get better. You sound like it, dude. All of a sudden, I don't know what they have happened, man. Like midway through this last review, like in the last like 20 minutes, my nose started getting stuffy. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Maybe I gotta change the kitty litter, but it's not that bad. So, and my neck is still killing me, man. I got the massage on Saturday. It was awesome. My God, it was so good. But
I'm surprised they're still hurting you after all that.
It's a nerve. It's a nerve. I think it's a nerve. I messed up a nerve for sure. But so we went to go see Shazam in the morning. Well, early afternoon. So we got out. But the last like 15 minutes, my neck started bothering me, where I started getting fidgety at the end because I couldn't keep my head still. Like it was just so painful. And then we get out of the theater, right? And it's super sunny out and snowing. so
is it? I come here for Tank. No one likes you, Brian. Hey, people are still here for me. Just you. I trust you. Yeah, you might not be. It's okay. I got you. Just wait. Just wait. I'm calling Sandy up. Got a plan for you next time.
Next time.
You and your Mark Pillow. So Brandon says, I'm telling you guys to check out Bigsby Bear on HBO Max. Luke Skywalker has a role in it.
Oh, I'm gonna look this up real quick.
I want to see that now. Hey, what's up, Perp? I appreciate you, man.
Oh, wait.
Just finished our Luther review. Yeah, we're pretty much finishing it up today.
Yeah. I was saying, we want to get you back on the channel, Perp. Maybe for something coming out soon.
Most definitely. So yeah, we're definitely we have to hit you up because
we had a good conversation with the Oscar movies.
Finish up on Attack on Titan yet?
No, I just have because it's only in subtitled, so I can't just throw it on. Yeah, I gotta read, so I just can't put it on. Like Luther, I was able to kind of put on and just put an earbud in and kind of like glance up as I was doing the dishes and stuff like that. With this, is like you gotta read, so I gotta put some time apart. But
so yeah, I'm here for the spoiler kings. Just let them know.
Nice, yeah. We'll message you. I know Brian's been pretty busy trying to getting all the store stuff ready. So yeah, I'm still kind of busy. So hopefully sometime next month will be a little bit sub over dub. I know that's how you are. Yeah, I can go either way. I think it depends how I start. However I start, that's how I need to stay with that series. You know, like Full Metal Alchemist, like I did dubbed, but then Brotherhood, I did subbed, and it's just how I started.
I can't do dubbed. I don't like it as much.
The American voice actors. Yeah.
Hey. I see him, Martin. And hello, the better half, Sandy. Much better half. Except forget you, Martin. We just need to bring Sandy on by herself. That's all we need. That's all we need.
Again, maybe bring Sandy on and do a season 2 of How I Met Your Father recap.
We definitely do that. Even if we record it.
Yeah. I gotta get caught up. I stopped. I gotta finish it. And Bad Batch. I heard Bad Batch had some better episodes.
Yeah, so I've seen one of them, and it is pretty good, but
it's still a lot filler.
I'm still 1.5 episodes behind.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm about like 3 episodes behind. Yeah, I'm gonna check out this Bigsby's bear. I was looking at it. It looks weird.
It's like something I want to be watching tomorrow.
It looks weird. Oh man. But yeah, the next couple weeks is gonna be so good with it.
She's so right though. I feel like the sub don't sound as strong mainly as the dub.
With yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of times they use a lot of women for the voices in Japan. Like all of Dragon Ball Z is mostly women.
Almost all of them are. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Brandon says it's not what the trailer makes it look like at all. It's not what it is.
Yeah. Just the pictures looks crazy, looks weird. But actually, I got good reviews, so
it's a completely different movie than the trailer. So we definitely have to check it out and see what it is. Good.
I'll watch it. I got HBO Max.
All right, guys. We appreciate you coming in. I'm going to close up the show today because I got some other stuff to do because I'm really trying to get this Picard thing out. I need to look at it so he can tell me if I need to redo it all.
Yeah. So, I got to do some stuff for Martin.
One way or another, it's going to be out. It's going to be out sometime soon. But thank you guys all for coming to the show today. Thanks, Perp, for jumping in right now. Thanks, Sandy and Martin, Brandon, for being consistently here. We appreciate you, man. This has been a Toxic Gamer. I don't want to forget about you, and of course, Derpy. You guys have been really, helpful in the show today. I think I appreciate everybody. Purpose said I would recommend checking out the D&D movie. I got an early screening for this weekend. I can't believe you came out with a review already, Perp. I was
I know.
I could not believe. I was like, no, I got early viewing too. I'm going to go see it Sunday, but you saw it already. It came out with
like 2 weeks ahead.
I was like, damn it. You need to send me some of these early screeners, man. Come on, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
I want to check it out.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, and we're gonna get out of here. And we'll see you on Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Later.